charger?
What, sorry?
Got the headset charger.
It's just not there. Alright, I think we are live, hopefully. Audio input's working. Cool. Right, hopefully you guys can hear me, so let us know if you can hear me. Very nice. And yeah, welcome to the channel. All good on your end, Nat? Everyone here?
Yeah.
Cool, right. My chat seems to be a little... Oh, no, there we go. Cool. There you go, it's just been delayed. Yeah, welcome to an episode of this Customer Insight Podcast. You don't need to see this right now. I'm on the wrong screen. That's the screen you want to see right now. Hopefully you guys are all doing okay. So we've got another event recap here. So yeah, we're basically going to do what we usually do. I've managed to make it a little bit easier. So now I've cut down on all like the frames, so you should get a much bigger picture of the actual matches. We're going to do the turn by turn playing out and whatnot. But yeah, so last weekend I've had a bit of time to recover now. I was at the Manchester GT, which is weird because it's called a GT, but it's a super major. So it makes sense. 271 players entered, and obviously there's only one winner. Unfortunately, we didn't get to be the winner, but you know, it never really happens that way. But we did manage to get a 4-1 finish, and managed to finish overall 15th out of the 271 people at the event. So super happy with that one. But let's get into it. Let's break it down. So first up, and again, at any point during this, feel free to leave questions in the chat, whatever, and I'll be happy to answer stuff. Please hit a like and a subscribe if you're not. If you are new to the channel, hello, my name's Aiden. I run the Discussing Resilient podcast alongside Will and DeathGuard Dave. Competitive 40k DeathGuard focused channel. But yeah, welcome. Glad to have you here. If this is the first thing you're catching, this is an event recap stream. Typically do these after every event I attend, and we're going to break down every game turn by turn, play by play, and sort of look at how we managed to get to our final result, which is really cool. Apex AP here, you wouldn't believe it. I just came home from my first ever tournament today, and I made 4th last place and actually won a game. Well played, man. So you managed to. That's what it's all about. Because when you go to your first event, just don't set any goals. Just make sure you play the event through, and you managed to get yourself a win. That's more than most people can in the first event. So super well played, mate. Congrats on the win. One of my friends attended this event for his first ever event. He managed to sneak out a cheeky 2 into his World Eaters, so he was over the moon. It was great to meet you and chat DeathGuard at the event. Yes, EH2, yes, I remember that was a really cheeky play. We'll talk about that in a second actually, because I really liked that. It was a really clever idea. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. See, so I don't know everything, guys. I get ideas from you guys sometimes. But yeah, so we're going to just quickly cover the goals. So this is before the event. These are kind of the goals that I wanted to do. So we went kind of back to my old style of list, much more toolboxy, infantry heavy. We'll cover the list in a second, don't worry. We wanted to try and push for a 4-1 finish. It was an absolute shark tank of an event, I won't lie. So many big names, so much like good players there. So it was going to be a real tough event. So to be honest, I probably would have been happy with a 3-2. But the goal was to try and push for a 4-1, which thankfully we did manage to do, which is really cool. We wanted to try out some new units, mainly the Playcaster bus, as we'll get to in a second. The Playcaster bus is 2 Malignant Playcasters riding around in Rhino. So we wanted to try out something a bit different, a bit new, not just play the same old, same old. We wanted to destroy some Custodes. I had something like 24 anti-infantry flamers in my list. I really just wanted to ruin Custode players' days, because I'm evil, and I like watching golden people cry. But that was a goal. Unfortunately, we never even played against a goddamn Custode. And I had a bet with Dara from the Red Path, who's the World Eaters like specialist, to have a tally of who killed the most Custodes. And despite 20% of the field being Custodes, neither of us got paired into Custodes. Yay. And we also wanted to see how our anti-tank fared. This list has a lot less anti-tank than the last one. Was worried it could be a problem. We're going to see how that played out. Was it an issue? Was it not an issue? Turns out it wasn't actually that bad. But yeah, we'll get into it. So let's look at the actual list. So we had Typhus. Always got Typhus. Non-Tarian. No more Tarian in this list. It's a non-Primarch list. We didn't want to run a Primarch. We wanted to go non-prime access. You know, bit different, a bit, you know, a bit more. See how it goes. Biology, Putri, and Foul Blight spawn the two staples of the big 10-man Plague Marine brick. Lord of Virulence, love this guy being back in. Lord of Virulence, so good. Reroll wounds on the flames is crazy, and when he gets spotting for those mortars, they just really start ripping stuff apart and really starting to hurt, so it's really cool. The Double Malignant Playcaster, which people ask in the chat, is the Plague Bus making a permanent fixture? And someone saying Plague Bus is my favourite unit, love their spikiness. Yeah, I reckon so. I really like this unit. As you'll see, this unit is a bit of a menace and a bit of an absolute nightmare, hence the front page having the old Rhino Playcaster here. And you'll see how we use it. And this thing just is kind of daft at the output it can do, and it's really funny, and people really don't expect it. They never left the Rhinos once. I never actually came across a melee matchup, which kind of sucks, so I never really got to use the -4 to move, -4 to charge. But what I'm saying is, I barely got to use their utility, and they still did enough impact to make me really want to take them. Yeah, Paul, no Predators, so I was really struggling. I wanted to put a Predator in the list, but to do so, I'd probably have to drop down to 3 Death Shroud Terminate instead of 6. I was umming and ahhing for ages, and I thought, you know what, fuck it. We'll just put 2 Entropy PBCs in rather than 2 Flamers, and just have 1 Flamer instead of 2 Flamers. And we just risked it, and it actually came out alright. Predators are still great. If you like Predators, still great unit. I just couldn't fit him in anywhere. I was like, ugh. Really pulled at my heartstrings, that one. But then we have a big 10-man Plague Marine brick. Went with the mixture of shooting and melee, so we had 2 Melter Guns, 2 Plague Spewers, Blight Launcher, and then all the heavy Plague Weapons and a Plasma Gun on the Sergeant. 2 5-man Plague Marine squads, Spewer, Melter Gun, and then heavy Plague Weapons, and the Sergeant had a Plasma Gun as well. 2 times 10 Cultists, really glad to have these Cultists back. These Cultists, as you'll see, became like absolute MVPs in some of these games. Like, Cultists are just so good. Scout is such a weird, and you just look at it, like, Scout, 6 inches, what can it actually do? And then you have the games where it does a lot, and you're like, oh, that's what it can do. So, we'll see on that one. The Death Shroud Terminators weirdly did the least impact of this entire list. Not because they're bad, they're really good. And when they came in, they did do some damage, but there were some games when I just didn't even need them. It was kind of weird. I was like, oh, I guess you can just drop in and try and do something, and then they didn't do anything, but it didn't really matter because everything else was dead. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, but I'm still going to keep it. Again, it was more of an anti-Custodes tech piece. Sadly, we never got against Custodes, so we never really got to see it shine in its full element. 2 Chaos Rhinos. Always got to have your Chaos Rhinos. They're really, really good. 2 Bloat Drones. These things are just awesome. So good. Can't shut them down. Fall back, shoot, charge is so obnoxiously good. Spreading contagions everywhere. The Overwatch is pretty decent, although not as good as I thought it might be. But it's still decent. And then we had 3 Plague Bus Crawls as well, who are just, again, all-star units. Always happy to have them firing away. Boil Blight, Lord of Virulence combos really helping them out. Rocking the double entropies and the 1 spitter. Again, the entropies, they don't really do much, but when they do connect, they can do some decent damage. And then a single unit of 3 Nurglings. Secondary's got to be scored, someone's got to do it. So, what's different from the last list? Lot less tanks, obviously. Last time we had double Predator, double Plague Bus Crawler, Mortarion, so there's a lot less tanks in that sense. There's actually more PBCs, weirdly, but there's no Predators at all. It's a much more go-wide playstyle. No Morty means no bubbling around an aura, so we can spread out, do what we need to do wider. The caster bus is obviously in there. No Morty, as I said. And we do have a little bit more indirect. We have 3 Plague Bus Crawls instead of 2, but again, we don't have Morty, so technically they're more swingy because they'll be hitting on 4s, not ignoring the indirect penalty. But yeah, let's actually get into some games then, shall we? Somehow, out of the 271 players that attended this event, my first round opponent was the exact same first round opponent I got at the last event we did. It's Nickelback. So Nickelback, Nick Elback, when he got this pairing, he did the same thing I do and assumed that BCP was being a buggy piece of shit again. So we kept refreshing the screen and we're like, nope, it is actually him. And apparently he told me it was like boss music started playing, like a health bar appeared, which I found quite funny. But yeah, we have another game against our good friend Nick. So Nick running the Tau Sept, Tau Empire. He's got Cadre Fireblade, so he can, some bit of buffs for his Breacher units. Shadow Sun being a pain in the ass, lone up character as always. Cold Star Commander sitting with his full 6 crisis suits with the full ion loadout. I know, right? The odds of that, eh? So these are the big, big crisis brick. Kind of deletes anything it looks at. Real scary. Don't want to get shot by that. 2 Devilfish, both with 10 breaches in. 1 supported by a Fireblade. So these are really nasty close range shooting for infantry for Tau. So they're quite scary. 2 broadsides with the railgun. So it's really nice long range anti-tank. 2 ghost kills, which are so annoying, like lone up at toughness like 8, 2 up save, and like 11 wounds with 2-0 blanks on damage. Is really annoying to fight, but he had them, so we have to deal with it. A Riptide with Ion. Tau gets so much stuff, by the way. 3 stealth suits, a Piranha, 2x2 Tetras, which are the Forge World spotting full hit rerolls to units, and really annoying little scout vehicle, and then 5 Vespid Stinglings, because again, secondary's got a secondary. So we got Dawn of War. My least favourite setup. I hate this mission. I hate this map. But it is what we got. So I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller on the corners so you guys can see everything. I'm just going to make myself a little bit. Nope, that is move. I wanted size. There we go. There we go. Okay. So yeah, obviously coming into this matchup, we are against Tau Empire. So before we have even sort of like started the game, we know fairly safely what we're going to do. We're going to go with a fixed plan, a fixed secondary plan, and we are going to be taking teleport homers because there's a safe build in the center here you guys can see, which we can sit in and score homers every turn. And we're going to take Bring It Down because every single one of his battle suits is worth a minimum of 2 points on Bring It Down. So if we at 1 point kill this crisis team and the leader, that alone is 14 Bring It Down points out of 20. So really safe because we need to kill them anyway. We need to be killing suits, and we can teleport homers relatively safely. So we're not going to take tactical on this one. We're going to take a Bring It Down and teleport homers. Okay. So knowing this, we're going to deploy. We're going to look at the table. This mission is hold 1, hold 2, I believe. Let me just pull up the thing on my other screen. It was, so it's priority targets. Yeah, so it's the one where at the end of the game you score 15 if for every objective you hold. So all we need to do really is hold 2 objectives. So we're going to use the principles that we taught ourselves, which is pick 1 to be our secure objective, 1 to be our non-negotiable. Then we want a sabotage objective and a kill objective. So people that don't know about these ideas, they're talked about in the, I think it's a, how is a faction fundamentals video? Someone will have to help me out remember. I think it is, yeah. I think it's deployment. Yeah, it's a deployment faction fundamentals. Basically, we pick objectives to be certain categories, and those categories define how we're going to play around them. So, for example, this is the non-negotiable I've picked objective, so I'm going to make sure I defend this at all costs. Then I'm going to pick a secure, which is going to be this one here. This means that this is the objective I don't want to lose, and I'm going to fight over as hard as possible. The center is going to be kill, which means I don't want either of us to be able to hold the center objective. I want to kill his units off it, but I'm not looking to hold it myself. And sabotage is on the right, which is the one he's going to probably try and hold, and I'm going to try and take him off it even just for a turn or 2, even if it costs me resources to do so. So we've got our game plan in our head. We're already in set. We're going to start deploying. So pretty basic here. What we're actually going to do is, in reserve step, we're going to keep Typhus in reserves. We're going to keep the Nurglings. We're actually going to deploy. Oh, I've got to send this to the back. Give me a second. Layer, send to the back. And then that, send to the back. I'm going to have to do that for every single one. That's kind of annoying. There we go. So the Nurglings, we just plop in there. They're going to be our homer guys for this game. They're just going to deploy homers from the safety of that point. Our opponent is going to put down Shadow Sun back there with a lone up being safety. Then we are going to put down a Plague Bus Crawler on home. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you guys? This game we actually reserved the Plague Bus, the Caster Bus. So the Caster Bus and these 2 5-man Marines that are inside it, plus the casters, are actually going to sit outside. They're going to sit in reserves for now. So the 10-man bus actually goes here. We're looking to get our 10-man Plague Marine unit onto this objective here, because that's going to really fortify that. We have a lot of OC, which is we want to try and use as best as possible onto this point. Death Shroud in reserves with Typhus as well. And we kept a unit of cultists we put a unit of cultists down here. Basically, with this unit, we wanted to use these to deny his primary objective. So the plan for these was to scout them just to the wall, and then in our turn, we can move and advance and just put 10 OC on this point whenever we need it. So it's going to help us deny some primary. So I'm going to put their scout move in already, because it's not going anywhere. They're just going to sit at this wall. Even if I get first, I'm not going to really drag them out too much. I'm just going to sit here and be happy. Then we're going to go bloat drone 1, which are actually a bit small on that. Bloat drone. And then, surprise, surprise, we're actually going to put a second bloat drone with it. Then we're going to go Papers Crawler down here. Papers Crawler here. Our opponent is obviously deploying during all this, so we've got broadsides behind here. We've got the Crisis team also behind here. So he's got his big, scary units up here. So the big, scary units are there. He's got a Ghost Keel on this point here. He's got his other Ghost Keel on it as well. He's got double Ghost Keel on that point, which is kind of scary to deal with, but we can deal with it. His Riptide has gone up here. And then he's gone a Piranha behind this wall here. Tetra's behind up there. The Stealth Suit team was in the center. His other Devilfish was over here. And then he had his Vespids in reserves. And then his other Tetras up behind here. Before you start the game, what your thoughts go into it? Honestly, pretty chill. I knew Nick. Nick's fairly new to the tournament scene, so I was fairly confident. The layout and the mission really made me super feel confident because I'm against Tau. The fixed plan is really nice because it means I'm just gonna mortar off Tetras, Piranha, which is over here. Things like that. You put it like a scout. We can mortar off Tetras, Piranhas, and basically we can just play a really passive game on this one, Paul, where basically we can sit back, pick up bring it down points and pick up homers points, and we had a bit of an OC advantage in a way because it's really hard to get our Plague Marines off our natural if we capture it, but we're going to use things to attack his natural here. So that's the deployment. My opponent does get first turn on this one, so I believe he gets first turn. Thankfully, this is the magic of having the phone recorded. So my opponent has gone tactical on this one, so he's going to be scoring his cards as and when they come. So let's have a quick look. Who got the first turn? It was back to round 1. Yeah, my opponent got first turn. So my opponent's going first in this one. So first turn for my opponent. Again, I've not really given him anything to shoot at, which is something you want to try and do, especially with this passive playstyle we've got going here. We don't really want to threaten anything. We're just happy to sort of like just wait around, wait and see. He gets to scout out his Piranha, which is going to go like that there, stay 9 inches away from the Nurglings. And on his first turn, he actually draws Overwhelming Force and Assassination. The only thing you can kill as on an objective is this Plague Scroll, which is hiding behind the wall. So that's not really going to happen. I won't lie. So unfortunately, he's not really going to get many points here. This Piranha just then moves onto the center here, just to sort of like have something on it to take it. Not much happens. The Ghost Keels sort of shuffle around to get onto the point. So one's touching it there, one's touching it there. Not too much happens here, really. I think things just shuffle around a little bit, but not too much really going on here. He's being quite passive. Don't want to overextend. Don't want to lose too many. Last time we played, he overextended first turn, lost quite a lot. So he's being quite passive, which is correct in a way. Unfortunately, this one he probably needs to be more aggressive because he got first turn and I'm second, which means I can just play really safe and at the end score 15 on primary extra. So what we do on our first turn is we're going to use the cultists exactly as we said. We're going to move and advance them, and our 10 OC is going to out these guys. I think they're 6 or 8 combined. So move, advance, and we're just going to sit on here. And basically with that, we out OC. So we've managed to sabotage this for 1 turn. What we then do is we actually then move these bloat drones both just up to here-ish. Like that. They're just basically getting ready to jump out next turn. The Rhino disembarks the boys, the big 10-man squad, to sit inside this ruin. And this PBC just nudges out to here. He just wants to get last cannon shots off. And this one just does the same to theirs in case he wants it. We don't want to expose ourselves to like the railguns, so we're just keeping that angle really tight. We don't want anything to get shot that doesn't need to get shot. Okay? So entropy cannons do actually manage to pick up this Piranha here, which is really nice for us. That gets us a nice kill. We do homers with the Nurglings, obviously. And the mortars killed 1 Tetra, I think. So off just that alone, we've got 4 bring it down points and 3 teleport homers. We've got a nice bit of secure here. And our opponent has been denied a primary. So our opponent's only scored the 1 on primary. These stealth suits aren't on the objective. You cannot hold this from behind the wall. So at this point, our opponent basically comes around with the ghost kills. He obviously wants to try and clear these cultists off the point. The cultists are managed to be high, so these broadsides can't get a thing here. So he keeps all these guys back. He brings up this devilfish here. Doesn't manage to get the guys out. I don't think he gets good enough advance roll and whatnot. He just kind of sits there with it. Everything else kind of just sits still. There's not too much going on with it. Let me see what secondaries he actually drew the second turn. He had investigate signals and no prisons. That was it. So the Tetras go to the corners to do his signals for him. He's quite happy with that. And then he manages to kill off the cultists. Surprise, surprise to ghost kills and kill cultists. However, we actually rapid ingress this turn. We put the rhino just here, 9 inches away from the ghost kill. Now it was actually no, it was I think it was like 13 inches away because the ghost kill had a fusion blaster. I asked him his range and he said 12, and I just stayed an extra 1 out of it. I at least stayed out of range of this one here. I think maybe 1 could get a shot in. We did this because it means in our turn this rhino can move up, and then we're basically going to have the ability to interact with these ghost kills then, which is really nice. So even though we didn't really get much distance rapid ingress in this, it just kind of brought on a surprise threat. I didn't have to hide behind the building and worry about movement trying to get out of the building and forward. So he does kill the cultists. He does try and shoot this guy with some ion shots. Doesn't really do anything to it. And again, because he hasn't moved the broadsides out, because there was no angle there originally, we're safe from the broadsides because he can't move after I've ingressed. So my turn comes up. We drive this rhino right up into their grill. We deposit the first 5-man Plague Marine squad out, because again that's 10 OC, so we're going to sabotage his objective again. And then we're going to bring out both bloat drones at the same time. And all of this is doing its best to dodge the line of sight coming down here from the broadsides, because we know this is where he's going to be doing most of his firepower from, so we want to kind of avoid that. So the reason we brought out both bloat drones and the rhino with the plague burst crawlers in it, and then this plague burst crawler is also going to touch there so we can get a line of sight, is because we want to kind of overload it. If we can kill these ghost kills, there's not too much, especially if we get behind this building, that can deal with all of this. He'd have to bring out his breachers, he has to bring down the crisis, something crazy to deal with it all. Part of that, we're kind of happy just existing where we are. This play was called pokes his head out to here to shoot this devilfish here. And my guys are happy there. We got, again, homers again. So in my turn, we are going to shoot one of these ghost kills with all of our sprayers. I think we took a grenade stratagem. And we do manage to actually kill the closest one, which is really nice. The plague casters do something like 8 damage to it, which is kind of wild. And I think he blanked 2 of them as well. He blanked the melter gun shot over here, and he blanked one of the plague caster shots. But like AP 3 at that range with just like auto hitting is kind of wild. So really happy to see the damage there. Then we charge into this one here. We've done a bit of damage to it. The entropy's shooting it from here. It's not dead though, but we charge it with absolutely everything we can. Just again, all we wanted to do is to just use this building to block line of sight from the broadsides getting shots next turn. So that's quite nice. So my opponent, so again, we've denied him primary on this objective here, which is really, really nice. We're happy with that. My opponent brings down the devilfish. 10 guys get out. Now, unfortunately, breaches are only 9-inch range, which means if you're in range to shoot me, I'm in range to overwatch you. So overwatch does happen here, and it is quite brutal and does pick up quite a lot of the breaches. I think we pick up like 6 out of the 10, which is really nasty, which is unfortunate. It means now they can't really contest this objective here. The Riptide pokes his head out to shoot his Plague Burst Crawler. The Tetras again just exist. Oh, the Mortar's last turn finished off that one Tetra that was left, so you don't actually have a Tetra over here, which is quite nice. So in his turn, he drops his Vespid because he gets, I think he gets, it's either homes or behind enemy lines. He drops his Vespid in. This Devilfish sort of just exists there for a minute. He's scared of bringing it out because he falls back his Ghost Keel because he's got fallback shoot. But he's worried about if, again, the same thing happens. He brings this down to get the breaches out. Breaches of a 9-inch range. I have 2 fat spitter bloat drones there, ready to overwatch, so they can't really do anything. So he just kind of keeps it back. He's a bit nervous to lose it like that. Yeah, you can overwatch stuff that's set up out getting out of vehicles. They shot. I think, to be honest, they didn't get too much because they didn't have many rerolls to hit. I popped a -1 to hit on it. They didn't have any Tetra support, so they were hitting on 4s again. They didn't get a great roll. They got a bit unlucky, to be fair. Like I said, we did do quite a number on the Overwatch, which is a bit grim. But so our turn, we actually managed to hold this here. I think the Ghost Keel does manage to shoot some of the Plague Marines, but doesn't kill them all. So then it comes to my turn 3. So bottom of my turn 3, I actually rapid ingress again. Oh, I don't rapid ingress. I just deep strike the next turn. That's it. So I managed to deep strike in a gap here, 9 to each of these, which is, it's okay. These guys here are going to get picked up. This is the flamethrower one in range of that guy, so they're going to kill him quite easily. Over here, we have our bloat drones become more aggressive. Start pushing up here. The Rhino with the Playcasters once again just dodging that line of sight from the broadsides. Sprays into this Ghost Keel with a bit of support from the other guys. Managed to weaken it. I don't think we actually kill it, annoyingly though. And it gets quite lucky. This Tetra here, I think this one actually we advanced. I managed to get here to put the Boil Blight onto this Tetra and we pick up this Tetra with all 3 mortars combined, which basically means now no full rerolls to hit, because that's the most important things to get rid of. So his army no longer has full rerolls to hit, which is really nice. We try a 9-inch charge into this thing here. This is the funny bit, actually. I forgot about this. So we roll our charges, and basically I think the colours just come back into just support home, I'm pretty sure, because they have to come into its turn 3. Typhus dropped in to, I think he joined the blob over here actually. Yeah, I think he joined the blob. Typhus dropped here and just did some mortal wounds to the Devilfish because poking his head around the corner. And it helped the Plague Marines pick up and finish off all this stuff here. There's still 5 Marines in this Rhino, bear in mind, as well. So these guys go die. We rolled charges. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, because it always happens to me. This bloat drone here wanted to charge this Ghost Keel right next to it. Rolled a 12. This Rhino wanted to charge this Ghost Keel here. Rolled an 11. This Plague Marine wanted to charge this Ghost Keel here. Rolled a 10. All of these needed max of 6. Came to the unit I needed to roll a 9. 2. Command point reroll. 4. Cool. Every damn time. Don't know why it happens. Super, super annoying. But it happens. So we managed to get this going. I think we get to 1 wound, which is really annoying. It keeps living, this one. It's doom Aiden. He's getting really good saves on it. It's just being a bit of a bugger, that one. Our opponent realizes he has to kind of make something happen now. So the Broadies do come out. These crisis suits do like a mad move advance. They can do a load of stuff like that. I managed to get them like here, because they can go really fast, them things. Shadow Sun's just chilling. Riptide sort of just moves back to create distance between the Death Shroud and them. These guys obviously got sprayed and machine gunned off from these PBCs. They just went and killed them. So he fires the crisis at the 5-man Plague Marine, absolutely obliterates them to pieces. This Broadies here fire into the bloat drone, and I spike the 2. I think he says he does either 3 or 2 wounds to me, and I spike the ones, and it actually lives, the cheeky little devil. This thing on fallback gets overwatched by the bloat drone and does actually die because it was on like 1 wound, so we actually managed to pick that up in his turn, which is quite nice. These fellas all jump out here, do an absolute number on this because I overwatched the friggin' Ghost Keel first like a dumbass. So this guy goes poof like that and he gets popped, which is a little upsetting, but it is what it is. Then these guys here do a jump, shoot, jump onto the middle because I think he had area denial, so he needed to be in the center for something. So he's got his big crisis brick here, Riptide up here, and this is where we play the game of, can we kill it? Now he's strung out a bit more, it's more like over here-ish, but I can get these Plague Marines just to get a position where only 2 suits, if I get them out here, could potentially see them for Overwatch. Remember, this is sticky, so I can kind of leave it now. So I do that. I'm like, do you want to Overwatch with 2 suits? He's like, no, it's fine. I'll pass on it. I'm like, cool. This bloat drone floats up here, ready to flame, but ends up actually doing homers because Mr. Legendary Flame Boss here gets his guys out and then moves up. And then the combination of the Plague Marines, who managed to actually get a metal gun because this thing's sticking its nose out of the front, and the Playcasters managed to pop this dude here, which means I actually don't think I need to use the sprays to kill us. So I'm going to use homers instead with this guy. So he just homers because he's in the opponent's deployment zone, which is quite nice. We managed to get the charge off into these breaches, and those breaches are going to die. But meanwhile, back in the shooting phase, all 3 of these Plague Bus crawlers, basically this guy comes around to get range of his sprayers on the suits. This one gets range of his entropys on the suits. This one here does the same for the entropys onto the suits. Plague Marines, and then Typhus gets an angle so we can see them. We pop Boil Blight. We have the Lord of Virulence that can see them from this one up here down. We pop everything we can this unit, and I think literally our last gun finishes off the last suit. So I learned in this event, Death Guard is a very nasty shooting army. Not so much melee. Melee can be whiffy, but shooting, oh my lord, it can hurt. So these guys actually go pop right there and then. So we kill the entire Crisis Brick, which instantly maxes out our Bring It Down. So all we have to do now is focus on homers in a really good position. The Death Shroud trundle forward, trundle, have a 8-inch charge, fail it, command point it, fail it. Death Shroud ain't doing much today. They spray like 2 wounds off it. That's cute, I guess. At this point, there's not much left of my opponent. So my opponent's turn 4 or 5 at this point. Basically, the broadsides just kind of come across here. They do kill this bloat drone, but again, I'm just going to drive this thing into the deployment zone next turn and do homers. All these guys can do it. It's not really a big issue. The stealth suits just kind of chill in the middle. There's not really much they can do. The Riptide goes over here, just keeps shooting at these fellas here, which is fair enough. Doesn't actually still kill them. I managed to, it whiffs pretty hard, but there's not too much going on now. So all we do in our turn really is drive up this guy to here, so we can get contagion range on them. These guys come up to here. We shoot, I think we kill like 1 broadside, but it doesn't really matter. These guys just do homers in here. This is sticky. The middle's now under our control because of this. This is sticky, so we've got at least 15 on the prime at the end of the game. We get a charge into these stealth suits here, and we kill them, and we basically just consolidate back onto it. And that's pretty much it for game 1, to be honest. So we managed to max out Bring It Down. We scored homers every turn from these Nurglings here. We had managed to get the rapid ingress Rhino, because it just managed to go zoom all the way and ended up here. And again, it's just having the 2 5 ones is really nice, just to put 10 OC on a point, and then I had again to do again, which is quite nice. Death Shroud didn't really do much, but the Lord of Virulence spotting really helped me pick up these Crisis team here, especially with like Typhus Mortals and whatnot. These colours just existed. But we had like all objectives stickied, and yeah, in the end we managed to finish this one as a 97-63 victory. As you can see, at turn 3 when we killed that Crisis Brick team, just maxed it out instantly there. Priority targets again, end game scoring, and then homers, we got 2 turns of being his deployment zone. For the homers, the bloat drone did it first and the Rhino did it last. Oh, that was it, yeah. You see he's got a tempting target here for 5. What this was is, actually, I can't remember now, because I really hate Shadow Sun, just because of last edition bullshit, and I really wanted to kill her. So my Plague Marines who charged off and killed the doodads in here, I actually stayed off it, the objective, and I said tempting target. I picked the middle, just so Shadow Sun would come down and take it, just so I had an excuse to kill her in my turn. Just because I really wanted to kill Shadow Sun. Does that make me a bit of a dick? I don't know, but I killed another fish person. She got sprayed and then she got ran over. So that's kind of funny, I guess. But yeah, overall, I also got him to extend that. So to be honest, again, you got 10 points for that, the cheeky bugger. But I really wanted to kill Shadow Sun. So can you blame me? I wanted to kill another Tau model. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about the openness of the tail, but to be honest, it was all. The second the 2 big units went into this building here, I was like, okay, this wall here is like the angle, because broadsides are slow. If they come out here, they probably could have got some more work done. But just playing behind this wall and sabotaging his objective was all we really wanted to focus on. That's what we managed to do, thankfully, which was quite nice. So, yeah, quite happy with that 97-63 victory. Good feeling at the end of round 1. Happy with how I played it. And then we get our second pairing, and it's going to be the Eldar, and specifically MSU Aspect Eldar. Some of you might know how this matchup goes. We've got Artak Wayleaper with the Phoenix Gem, which is when he dies, he rolls a dice for the first time. On a 2-up, he comes back to life with full health. On a 1, he stays dead, which is kind of funny. Wave Serpent with Twin Bright Lance, a Falcon with Bright Lance, so just some transports running around with some Bright Lances. And then, oh my lord, the MSU. 3x5 Fire Dragons, 2x5 Rangers, 3x5 Shadow Spectres, 2x5 Swooping Hawks, 3x5 Warp Spiders, 3 Shroud Runners, 3 support weapons with the D cannons, which are kind of scary. Indirect 24 inches, like strength 16, AP 4, D6 plus 3 damage or something stupid with dev wounds. So they're again indirect, real scary. But I digress. So interesting mission. This is the new UKTC one that they've started to use, which is the one where the central objectives disappear. And at the end of the game, there'll be only one objective in no man's land. So you only decide this after deploying, which is kind of annoying. So we had to be aware that either of these could be disappearing at the end. Now, thankfully, looking at this matchup, we're kind of okay because we look at it like, okay, I can hold something probably better than the Eldar can. So we go to declare reserves. We put Typhus in reserves. We put Nurglings in reserves because, again, we don't really have much need for them in this game. We play tactical this game, by the way. We've decided to go absolutely tactical, which means I'm going to need my phone to go through turn by turn. So let me get my phone a second. There we go. And then got it. Sweet. So yeah, tactical. So we put that in reserve, Terminators go in reserve. I think everything else starts on a unit of cultists goes in reserve. Everything else in this game is going to start on the board because we're going to need it. I was tempted to put the Playcaster bus in, but I was like, okay, no, we might actually need it on this one because, again, we need to push these objectives depending on which one disappears, which means we need more board presence. Now, my opponent, now this is the thing that kind of a little confused at. My opponent put into reserves both his Swooping Hawks. That makes sense. He put all of his D cannons in reserves. So the one kind of like unit in this game that would keep me in check and control where I moved was the D cannons, and he put all of them in reserves. So I was like, okay, time to go aggro. We want to push him back. We want to take these objectives before these things come on, and we want to try and push these and control where these things can come in. Because if we can control when they come in, they've only got 24-inch range. We can protect our valuable assets, and I'll tell you what, MSU Eldar does not like indirect. So we're going to deploy. We're going to deploy more aggressively. Again, the D cannons out on the board, so we're going to deploy way more aggressively. So we're going to go Plaguebuster Crawler. I'm going to put one Rhino down here. This is the 10-man Rhino. Second Rhino's up here for Bloat Drone for support. The Flamethrower tank is going to sit at home and do protecting. Home. It was an interesting decision, we'll admit. And then we have another Plaguebuster Crawler who's going to come in like here. We've got a unit of cultists who go right on the line as per usual, but we actually go more downwards on this one. We just kind of want to see what we can get. So we're going to go more downwards like this with it. During reserves. Bloat Drone on each side, again, just to sort of support. So let me just make the Bloat Drones a bit smaller because they're a bit big there, to be honest. So like that. Again, please understand that these icons are kind of like just rough, generic sort of like ideas of where the units are at. It's obviously very hard. It'd be really cool if I could really live it one-to-one, but obviously a bit harder to do. And the Plague Marines, again, this is the Playcaster bus up here. I should have drawn like a wizard hat on it or something, shouldn't I? That would have been quite funny. But yeah, and this is the 10-man down here. So once we deploy, so my opponent puts down a Wave Serpent up here. His Falcon comes here. Shroud Runners come here. They have Scout or something like that. I did deploy the Nurglings. I know why I did this as well. I put them here. I didn't want the Rangers to get on it. So I actually put the Nurglings on the board. I remember now. Smart, because it actually pays off turn 1, as we'll see. Blood Nose like here. And the Rhino is more like here. Again, if he wants to come out with that Falcon and pop the Rhino, I'm kind of okay with that. because that Falcon is got his fire dragons in it, and I will pop the Falcon and then kill the fire dragons inside quite happily. Yeah, the second cultist in reserves are just for secondaries completely. He puts down then his way leapers like here, because again it's lone op, can't shoot it anyway. He goes warp spiders, shadow specters, warp spiders up here, and another unit shadow specters up here. He has a unit of rangers. I don't know, I've just done with that. His unit of rangers go like here. These guys are on the transports. All the fire dragons are in transports. The other unit of rangers is up here as well. The swooping hawks are in reserves as well. So let me just quickly see who went first, because again, it just the more information I have, the more correct my mind gets jogged. I think I went. Yeah, I went first. I don't know why. Yep, 100% I went first. Yeah, it was me. Okay, so now we're going to have to use this for a breakdown of the secondary. So I go first turn, which means I get to scout first, so as you guys can imagine, we go into the middle and we're going to, we're actually string out quite a bit. We've got to stay 9 away from these rangers, but we just do that, string out a little bit, and we manage to sticky this objective here in the middle, which is quite nice. First turn, we get secure no man's land and cleanse, so we have by default secured no man's land. It's really cool. We got this guy here, stickied, pretty happy. And we're going to cleanse. So what we're actually going to do is this cultist with their normal move are basically going to just cleanse onto that thing and kind of like just move into here. So we keep one guy behind the wall, move into here, and we're just kind of using to just basically try and just put boil blight, but we actually can't. So we don't, because I'm like, oh yeah, if I'm got to finish 9 inches away, I can't move 6 and be within 3. Because I'll be 3.01 away. I was like, oh yeah, never mind. So we're just going to keep them there to cleanse, which is fine. The blow drone here does a cheeky advance. Managed to actually get to this point alongside the Rhino, who again also advances. We're just trying to take this point at this point. They put OC on the point, which means the Nurglings can cleanse, because the Nurglings haven't done action. But now I control this point, so we're going to get double cleanse off. So we've got cleanse, which is really nice. PBC just kind of moves up to exist. Gets to like here. Again, we're not too scared of shooting. Yeah, he's got bright lances, but it is what it is. We kind of just got to deal with that. PBC back here just moves back a little bit, just to sort of make sure if we get in the corner. The bloat drone does. We try to advance the Rhino. We roll a 1, which would mean it like end here, which I didn't really want to risk. So instead, we just took it more to the side, a bit open. We measure his angle. He can get to like max here, and we make sure he can't shoot the Rhino with his max move on that wave serpent. But the bloat drone gets a decent roll, so he's going to go to there. Oh, don't worry, Todd. Don't worry, we'll get to that. First turn, we managed to pick the mortars, all go pew pew ka-choo, and we actually managed to get rid of an entire unit of warp spiders, which is quite nice. And I think we dropped the shadow specters here to like 2 guys or something like that, which is okay, not too bad. My opponent's goes for his turn. So my opponent goes, he brings down this Falcon here. So again, we've scored Secure No Man's Land and Cleanse, which is really nice. My opponent gets Overwhelming Force, and my opponent gets Behind Enemy Lines and Investigate Signals. He deployed his Hawks, because the Hawks can do the uppy downy, so they're like back here. He uppy downied these guys, goes 1 that corner, 1 that corner. So he's going to get his Behind Enemy Lines. I remember his other rangers were in here. That was it. Sorry, I remember it as it goes across. Because I remember these rangers moved, did the auto 6 advance and got to here. I could technically overwatch him with this guy, but I actually didn't want to. I was like, okay, I could overwatch it, but then if I overwatch it, this guy moves out, and as we learned from last game, the fire dragons get out and will then kill the blow drone. So we're just gonna be like, you know what, that's fine, it's whatever. We'll deal with it. These Shadow Spectres come out behind this guy to put some shots into this thing. So we don't overwatch these, we're kind of just sitting on it. I don't even overwatch these guys. This guy would have probably been worth overwatching, but I didn't rate my odds to kill the entire unit, because I've got to kill 6 wounds worth. And again, I kind of just want the CP at the moment, so I'm like, okay, you know what, you can have these turn of points, because I'm just going to probably kill them next turn, because you can just go drive and kill them. I was like, okay, fair enough. Obviously, these guys can't come in. Shadow Spectres come out to here. This unit of Shadow Spectres just hides back here for a bit. I think they actually no, they come and take this spot here. Warp spiders do a little warp spidery jumpy doodah thing to here. These shred runners come onto the centre bit here. So it's the Autark Wayleaper. Again, I can't shoot him. These warp spiders stay where they are. And the Eldar do investigate signals in both of these. These guys are doing behind enemy lines here. They've advanced, so they can't do anything. So these guys aren't shooting. Now, these guys, so this guy's more like here. These guys shoot into my bloat drone. I think they get it to like 1 wound, but he managed to hang in there. So he's he hangs in. This Falcon takes a shot at the PBC and doesn't actually do any damage to it. I think I make the invuln, and these guys then shoot the bloat drone and do like 3 damage to it. Again, he can't get these guys out because I have the bloat drone here. Fun fact, fire dragons have a 12-inch range. Turns out flamers have a 12-inch range, so if he wants to ever use these guys, they can enjoy being overwatched, which is really fun. It's good news for us. So I think he probably should have shot both of these just at a bloat drone or the rhino, more importantly, but he doesn't. These cultists are turbo dead. They get shot by all this. They're definitely dead. This one gets dropped to 1 wound, and then he manages to, I think this guy like jumps over somehow and does like some extra shooty thing on it and manages to finish it off, which is slightly upsetting. So we do lose this bloat drone here. And my opponent scores a lot of secondaries. So that's pretty good. Happy my opponent's got some points there. But now it's time for us to go. So I dropped the ball here, guys. Don't yell at me. I draw overwhelming force in behind enemy lines. He has got something holding his home at this point. That's those rangers. That's it. Yeah, those rangers. There we go. They pulled back there. The warp spiders do a like phantasm or something to just hide in here. So I have to again behind enemy lines and score overwhelming force. So the only thing that's on objective is these shroud runners here. So we should probably kill them, and we bring in just some cultists just along the back here, which is pretty nice for us. So we managed to get behind enemy lines for 1 unit, which is quite cute. No, we don't. No. I know what we do. Again, memory. Again, don't leave it a week, guys. This bloat drone moves all the way up here. So this bloat drone comes and sits here. He phantasms this unit, actually. It wasn't the warp spiders. The warp spiders just finished there. This guy yeah, because my cultists were on the other side of the wall. He phantasms this behind the wall, so I can't spray it. I'm like, okay, but again, we've still got a decent charge off around the wall. This has obviously got fire dragons in it. We want to kill that, so these guys move up. This objective up here is going to disappear first. The middle is going to disappear second. So the objective at the end of the game is going to be bottom 1. So I'm like, okay, this is the one we want to secure, boys. So Playcaster Bus drives up. He's driven up. This guy just moves down to like here so he can get direct line of sight, so Mortal can hit this thing on freeze. And we spray all this stuff off here. This guy comes forward like that again, just so we can sort of see up there and down there. And obviously spray these guys off. The Turbo Rhino, the Caster Rhino, drives up, drops out 5 Dudas to be in melt range of that Wave Serpent. Typhus drops in over here as well to help out. And then the reason we're also doing this bloat drone aggressively is because, again, we want this here to have nowhere to come in. We want this to have to come in, so it can't come down here at the moment because this Rhino is more like here. If this guy makes up to here, this thing will have to come back in his deployment, which we're happy with. This is going to disappear soon as objective, so we're not too asked about if they come up here. They can stay there all game then. The Wayleaper comes up. He's being very rude to Typhus. But it's okay. We could technically get him with a Typhus, but right now I'm like more concerned about other things. So in our turn, we managed to shoot the Playcasters take 9 wounds off this Falcon, drop it to 2, and then the entropy cannons absolutely explode this thing here. So this thing goes bang. 5 fire dragons get out. My opponent says he's going to put them in a line to block this wall, so my bloat drone can't drive back. This is the point when I got to remind the Eldar player that it has fly and I do not care. I will simply go wee over you. But it also turns out I could also just remind him that I have AP2 flamers, and we rolled 12 on the shots. Goodbye. So this thing goes bye-bye. So far so good. This player goes crawl back here, sprays and machine guns these guys off quite easily. This one here kills these ones. Typhus actually had to help out with the mortals here. The melter gun connects onto this Wave Serpent, does like 6 damage to it, which is really nice. that wasn't the playcaster bus, sorry, the double melter gun from this bus down here blows that one up, plus the entropys from this. This is the playcaster bus, and then this wave serpent doesn't actually get shot by it. I was really tempted to shoot it, but instead, what we did was we split the one caster here and one caster here, because again, I wanted to get rid of the MSU, I was more scared of that. So we managed to kill these guys with the one caster plus the Havoc Launcher and Combi Bolter, and this squad here gets picked up by the other caster, and then the Plague Marine Spewer shoots at it as well. So we managed to kill both of them, so we're happy. Unfortunately, didn't use Typhus on this guy. I had to use Typhus on the Rangers back here. This Wave Serpent's still got 2 Fire Dragons in it, but again, if he gets out, I've got I've got a Spewer in here for the Overwatch, which is quite nice. So at this point, we're feeling pretty good. The Blow Drone does make the charge as well. I think he kills like 2 of them on the charge, which is quite nice. But just again, we managed to charge in. We managed to get a decent charge. We managed to just get into behind enemy lines as well as pushing all this back. So I did a bit of an oopsie though. Remember how I said I drew overwhelming force? Yeah, see how this thing's still alive? Yeah, my bad. But again, at the time, I was like, look how much scoring shit I could kill. Rangers, double Swooping Hawk, Shadow Spectres, Fire Dragon, this. Like, it was way too juicy, and I'll give up those 5 points. And I just traded it in for a CP. Wasn't the worst thing in the world. Would have come back to bite me in the ass eventually, but it is what it is. So the Eldar player has lost a lot of assets, and he wants to bring his D cannon. He does realise that he could potentially bring in 1 here, but again, he's like, it's like just the 1. It's not going to achieve much. He's fell back this first as well, which was a bit of a mistake. So he's fell back this up here. Managed to get behind the wall, tucked away, which means if he brings it in, I can actually overwatch it. Probably won't kill it, but he doesn't want to do it, so he actually brings them in like that, and then he brings one up here like that. So the D cannons are exactly where I want them to be. They're pushed back into his deployment zone. This turn, he has drawn Secure No Man's Land and Storm Hostile Objective. So he will get Secure No Man's Land by just holding this middle one. So he's going to do that. Storm, he's going to have good luck because, again, the Fire Dragons can't get out because they'll die to some Flamers. I also have pretty decent OC. This objective he's not really touching. This PVC, I think he's just touching it for the OC. He could potentially put like both these units on it, but then he's kind of just like sacrificing them, and he doesn't want to do that because he's already lost quite a lot. So instead he's just going to focus on the 1. So my opponent pulls this Wave Serpent back all the way over here. The D-cannons come in. These Shroud Runners come down here to get some shots and stuff. The Water Spiders come to like here because they can fire and fade or something like that. This Autark comes forward. I'm like, he's going to shoot Typhus, but hey, whatever. He doesn't actually shoot Typhus. He actually shoots the Rhino, which combined with the help of the D-cannon does pop it, which is a little rude, I won't lie, because now I'm like stuck up here with like 2 5-man Marine squads and the casters with them, which is a little annoying, but especially because this objective is about to disappear, so I'm stuck up here with the squads, and then this thing has like a fire and fadey thing, and it jumps back to like here, out of lone up into lone up range, which is quite nice for him. So he's got lone up there. The Shadow Spectres here, plus the 2 D cannons, they run away as well. They get behind here. He's just trying to preserve resource at this point because he's running out. The D cannons absolutely explode this unit of this blood drone here, which is kind of upsetting. And these guys down here shoot and kill this Rhino. But the 10-man gets out, and they lived long enough for this squad here had to finish off the round, so they can't shoot the Plague Marines. The Shroud Runners shoot the Plague Marines, but do like, I think they kill 1. So I'm not asked. I remove a heavy plague weapon because, again, I'm not too fussed about melee in this one. So yeah, overall quite happy. Again, this Fire Dragons are still sat in this transport over here. So again, we didn't take too many losses. We've got the important objective, which is this one here, it's the last one. He will hold this, unfortunately, so he does get Secure No Man's Land for 2, but he doesn't get Storm because he hasn't taken any objective that we held. So then we get turn 3, we get Deploy, Teleport Homer, and Bring It Down. Now, thankfully, these D-cannons are actually vehicles, so yeah, we're going to kill them. Homers, we have something, just do it really easily. I can't remember what it is. Something really crap. I think this PVC actually drives here and just gives up his shooting for the turn to do it, which is cute. This PBC now, because again, there's no uppy downy, we've stuck the home, we don't really have to care about it, starts driving forward to here. The Plague Marines just move and advance. Actually, this one goes up this way to get just within melter range of that D-cannon. The other squads all start moving and advancing. Typhus moves and advances. Typhus can obviously do his psychic thing after advancing, which is really nice. The Death Shroud Brick drops in. Now they're actually spread out, so I get a guy on this side of the wall and all across here, like in a big line. And my Lord of Virulence is the one here, so my Lord of Virulence can see both D-cannons, Wave Serpent, D-cannon, and these Warp Spiders. The Warp Spiders can overwatch, but again, I've got 2 up armor save. I don't really care. So these guys are here. My Chaos Cultists come in and just bring it home, just in case. Just like, hey, I'll have something. It was more in case I got Investigate Signals. Yeah, that was it. I sent this Plague Marine squad up here, actually. Because like, in case I get Investigate Signals, I'll bring them up there. So my Casters and Typhus started moving this way, because my Casters are not attached to my squads. So my Casters and Typhus, I ain't got a thing for the Casters, because it's the only game they get out of a Rhino. They both move advance down. Typhus comes across. We go to the shooting phase. So again, this turn we have got Deploy Teleport Homers, so we're going to do a PBC to do it. So he's going to home us this turn, and then bring it down. We're going to try and kill these. So we unleash the absolute sprayers of hell, and we manage to pick up first of the D cannons with a full reroll wounds, plus we paid a CP for the AP. The next one, the 2 PBCs that can see with the mortars, managed to pick up another D cannon, which is quite nice. The metal gun unfortunately whiffs, and we don't manage to kill this D cannon here with this squad, and they fail the charge, but good effort. These Plague Marines tuck in. So these Nurglings come across, they're going to tuck into the safety of this building here. We just basically just want to make, again, this is the one that's worth the most points at the end. So then we're going to drive these Papers Crawl onto here, and then these a bit more further back, to be honest. So the reason I didn't put the Playcast in the Plague Marines is because I like getting the 5 Plague Marines out onto a point to flip OC, but to do that I don't want to risk the Playcaster's Rhino effectiveness. So by them just being on their own, I can use the Plague Marines, because they don't really buff the Plague Marines as per se, because they don't really buff them as such, they just kind of like just do damage, which is really nice. And because again, I don't need the -2 move and -2 to charge here, because they don't have any melee, and -1 to wound in close combat is pointless here, because they don't do any melee. So it's actually better to just keep them in the Rhino and just have them as like basically just guns for the Rhino, and be able to use the Plague Marines for a mission play. So the sprayers and the shooting here managed to kill this Shroud. I had no idea what just happened then. Apologies, give me a second, everyone. That was first mission. There we go. So yeah, we killed that one. The PBCs pick up this unit of Warp Spiders here. So he's still got a couple units back there. That's about it. Again, unfortunately, we failed the charge here. This thing is still alive with the fire ends in it. Typhus does his D6 mortal wounds to the Autarch. Rolls a 5, which does kill the Autarch. The Autarch has the Phoenix Gem, so on a 2 up he resurrects. And he rolls a 1. Get fucked, elf. So that guy ain't coming back. So we're feeling pretty good on our turn 3. So on our turn 3, managed to get deploy homers, which is quite funny. I know, sorry spoilers, guys. Yeah, I hope the graphics are good, guys. I hope you guys can sort of keep along. Again, everything's just sort of like rough placing, but hopefully it helps you sort of like follow along the idea of the battle and how it went. So yeah, we managed to bring it down. We managed to actually bring it down. Oh, we must kill this. I could bring it down max. So yeah, I think must have connected and killed that. Just left the Wave Serpent because I got 5 for it, which means they're 2 each. So it must be 2 or 6. Yep. So we got that. Then we have 3 on the homers, which was this PBC here, doing the Lord's work. Doing the homers in the middle. So it comes to my opponent's turn. My opponent draws a lovely Bring It Down for 4 and an Overwhelming Force. So again, Overwhelming Force, he has to kill someone on this here, which isn't really going to happen. He gets rid of the Bring It Down as well. He gets Extend Battle Lines. So again, he just does a flicker jump, takes this point here. That'll get him Extend Battle Lines for a little bit of points, because again, something not held. This is going to disappear in my turn, so it won't be here in my turn, unfortunately. The Shadow Spectres all come out. They're flat 3 damage guns. Again, this one's only got a 2-man squad. We Overwatch just to kill one of them. Second squad, full-man squad comes out. The Wave Serpent comes down, because obviously this is the thing that's going to be worth 12 points at the end of the game. He needs to try and do something about it. The Rangers move out to here. they do a bit of shooting. These guys shoot at Typhus, the 2-up save, tanks it like a boss. He just keeps them there for the objective. This guy puts his Twin Bright Lance into this Plague Burst Crawler here. Damages it, doesn't kill it. The Rangers just take some pot shots to the Lord of Virulence, bounces them on a 2-up save. He's quite happy at that point. The Shadow Spectres do the whole shoot and scoot and just go back behind the wall. So then it comes to our turn now. So it's the turn 4, I believe. Yeah, it's turn 4. I actually did pull Investigate Signals, so this set up the turn before actually pays off, and we also got Engage on all fronts, so this pays off even harder. So what we do is these guys here obviously just Investigate Signals. I was tempted to drive this guy and do it down here for 6, but 4 points was enough. I thought, I was like, no, we want everything shooting still. This guy drives across here, just sort of starts getting towards the point. This guy comes around, Typhus moves forward. We do a lot of mortal wounds, a lot of killing. I'm just going to sort of speed this up a bit now. These guys move in advance. These guys stay in quarters again, so we move forward to here. They kill that. The Wave Serpent does get picked up, which means he has some fire dragons left, like that. And one thing I'll say is these fire dragons basically have to try and take this from 10 Plague Marines, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, one of which has Flamers, and remember they have a 12-inch range. And I still have a final turn to sort of do stuff with this. So we managed to kill quite a bit. But yeah, we managed to get a real good score here. We get engaged in every quarter, and we got Investigate Signals for 2. Really happy with that. My opponent then draws his. Again, Ryan's kind of on the wall at this point. He actually gets Area Denial, which is kind of funny. So he just runs one of these units through to here. Again, this is an entropy kind of not a spitter. Typhus ain't got Overwatch. He's not within 6 in the middle. So these guys do hold this, and I think they managed to shoot. I think they actually managed to kill this PBC because they used Fate dice to make it like flat 8 damage, which is quite nice for him. This squad here runs down here. I don't Overwatch them because I've only got 2 guys left after all this flat 3 damage shooting. But they basically try and hide behind the wall. But again, 10 Plague Marines, 2 PBCs. At this point, it's not looking great. So in my turn, what I actually do is I move the PBCs and then the Plague Marines in such a way that you can't physically see the map and the Nurglings. I just cover this because this is going to be worth 12 points at the end of the game. I cover the objective absolutely, like completely, so you can't see it. And the only thing he has in range was these Flamers, which, surprise, surprise, get killed. And Typhus managed to do a fatty mortal, 6 mortal wounds, wipes out this unit because, again, Typhus is the best, and walks down here. These guys then just come up here and basically spray, but he managed to make the saves. It doesn't really matter. And in my opponent's final turn, because again, there's not much he can really do, he gets a deploy, teleport home in his final turn. So these guys basically, they did a Phantasm when I moved here to flame him. That's how they dodged the flamers, came through the wall. His final turn, he just went into here, other side of the wall there, I couldn't flame him, and did a final deploy teleport in the middle for 3 points. So remember how one thing you might have not noticed, guys, is during all of this, my opponent didn't manage to get on many objectives, and look at that primary. And that 5 is because I forgot to kill them for the overwhelming force points. You know, the 3 shroud runners that were in the middle, I just forgot to shoot them and kill them. So potentially that could have been 0 out of 50 on primary, which is talk about MSU Eldar problems there, guys. So obviously quite really happy with this score here. Managed to kill Eldar. Managed to get decent on primary, 5, 10, 8, 15. So really happy with that. Super chuffed. Eldar can be quite tough, can be quite a pain in the ass for us to catch, but again, even without Morty to buff the indirects just really chews through these guys. Both these games, by the way, I've took the -1 save contagion because I just want to increase the amount of output that I have and the maximum amount of killing from the flamers and whatnot. So yeah, but again, great game, lovely guy. Both of my opponents have been absolutely lovely. Just felt a bit bad for him. Probably not the mission he wanted to face Death Guard on. And not the army with like all the fire dragons against an army with all the flamers. Not a great matchup for him. But you know, we live and we learn. But then the third game of the day, Astra Militarum, the Guard. Do you think Metal Guns are better than Plasma? I think both are good, Nazca. The reason I started liking the Metal Guns is because after the interview with Liam VSL, which if you haven't listened to, I implore you go listen to it. I even learnt so much from that one. Liam's incredible. But the melter guns, because I'm using my squads as shooty squads, if I want to pop a transport, I know it's only one shot, but if the one shot's going to connect, I want them to have no armor at all, because it'd be AP5 with contagion, and I want it to do as much damage as possible. So I can drive up a rhino, get out 3 of the rhino, so I can move 15 essentially with a plague marine squad, and then melter gun something, and if it connects, there's a good chance of it doing roughly on average about 5 damage, and that's before anything else shoots. So you can grenade for free on average, shoot the plasma melter. If it hits, you get on average of 5. Hopefully, something else from the squad picks up the last 2 wounds of the transport, whether that be the plasma going off the sergeant or the rhino. And then when the contents get out, you can boil blight the unit that was in it and then wipe the unit with your triple mortars. So it's been doing really well, the melter. I've been quite impressed by it. I've been quite impressed. But again, plasmas are still good. It's all personal preference. So we're going against Mark Caudry, the guys. He's a local player to me. Mark is very good with his guard. And this is the closest we're going to get to the Custodes matchup that we wanted. So, here's Gaunt's Ghosts, Solo Leontus, Ursula Creed, a Death Rider squad commander, Platoon's command squad, 2 tank commanders with Demolisher cannons and multi-melters, an infantry squad, which are going to sit at home with Ursula Creed for the free extra AP stratagem, 3 full squads of Bulgrin, all with the 4-up invuln shields, 6 up feel no pain, -1 damage, pain in the ass, 3 full squads of 10 Kazakin, and a unit of Death Rider, which is the Forge World horses, and then a Forge World Praetor, which is a really weird indirect unit. It's indirect, 2d6 shots, or d6 plus 3 on the heavy shot. It's heavy, so it ignores cover. It hits on 2s basically, with indirect, and it's like strength 4, AP 3, flat 4 damage. But it has anti-vehicle and anti-monster 4+. It is the most bizarre profile I've ever seen. But it hurts. It hurts. When it connects, it really hurts. Yeah, it's interesting. What would be the preferred situation for each? Plasma's ideal if you're against like a lot of just like marines in bodies that aren't like on transports. And obviously the plasmas can sometimes be better with the biologist putrefier because you just have more shots or more chances to get lethals. Again, if you kind of go against a lot of more infantry-based armies, I'd probably go with the plasma gun. Sorry, I need a drink. Do you think the game of Scar would have gone differently if you played versus 3 basilisks? Possibly, but also no. You'll see why. Movement wasn't too much of an issue. Again, you'll sort of see why, but they are annoying and they kind of hurt, but it wasn't as bad as I feared. And I think we'd still been okay even versus the Trio Basilisk because we're on Purge the Foe, so it's kill more, hold more. So kill 1, kill 1, hold 1, kill more, hold more. And then the deployment is going to be this border. So we're on like quarter deployments here. So what we do is we go tactical on this one. My opponent actually goes fixed for assassination and deploy homers, which is interesting. Assassination, obviously quite risky. I have a lot of characters. He has to obviously get into the duty rhinos to kill the guys, but if he can, he's going to get a lot of points. He could have gone bring it down as well, but assassination is easier to kill them if you can get to them. So I give him that. I'll give him that one. I went for tactical, as I said. So we start deploying again. I am going to put the caster bus in reserves again. So we're going to do the dreaded reserve bus. The Nurglings also go in reserves. Typhus goes in reserves. A unit of cultists goes in reserves as well. And everything else is on the board. And the Death Shroud are obviously in Deep Strike. We don't ever put them on the board. They're too slow. So my opponent drops his first. He puts his big indirect thing back here. I then put down one of my 10-man Rhino squad here. Because I want to try and fortify this position at the top. I want to try and sabotage the bottom one. My opponent puts the first squad of Bulgarins behind this wall here. They're probably going to go for the middle and be deploy teleport homers, which is, a fair shout. We're going to put a squad of cultists just here. Again, ready to scout into the middle if we can get it. If we get the first turn. My opponent puts a second unit of Bulgarin behind this wall here. Which is, again, fair enough. We put down Playbus Crawler at home. My opponent then puts down a tank commander behind this wall here. I then put down my bloat drone just up here. So one of the bloat drones just goes up here, chills out up here. My opponent puts Gaunt's Ghosts down here. Infiltrate obviously on the point. His other tank commander, I'm just going to start speeding up now. His other tank commander comes up here. Because again, I ain't got too much really to shoot him with. He puts his horses basically right in front of my deployment zone, blocking off this entire thing here. He puts them like here, blocks all that. Which is a little annoying. Basically just blocking off this L, trying to get in. Leontis is obviously back here, so is his command squad of Ursula. His Kazakin go one on the line here, another on the line here, because again these guys have scout, and another one up here with them as well. I also put one in reserve, sorry. And then his other Bull Green squad kind of just goes here as well. Again, I don't have too much shooting, so he's not too scared of my shooting, which is, you know, fair enough. I just basically just go Plague Bus Crawler. Again, yeah, I'm not too scared of his long range shooting too much. But then this is the interesting. My very last drop, bloat drone right here. Right in the open, right as much as I can. Because this guy here, this tank commander, because it's down, can't come round here and get a shot onto this guy. This tank commander can't because of range. So it's 24, it's way over 24, so he can't get a shot there. So these guys here are actually pretty damn safe from everything but this Praetor launcher. So with that, we are A-okay to take that shot. I am more than happy to, you know, if he wants to just come and shoot one hunter killer missile at me and nothing else, then I am absolutely fine with that. So, but what this means is we can basically apply pressure here, which means if we get behind this wall, we have the same dilemma the tower did. This tank commander has to like come out like here or like here to get shots, which is going to be a pain in the ass for it. Nothing else can really kill it dead easily. So the Bull Green can't. Gaunt's Ghosts are probably going to have to get picked up at the end of my turn, which then leaves a subjective. So if he decides to pick these up, because again they picked up at the end of my turn, if he does that, I will then be able to hold this on primary because I'm on it, which means he has an incentive to leave them on it. But again, if he does pull them, then, you know, we hold it. If he doesn't pull them, then next turn we can like move around and spray him. So that's pretty interesting dilemma we put our opponent in. So let me just see who goes first. I'm pretty sure I go first in this one. I do go first, yes. I thought I did. So I scout and I go 6 inches this way here, right into the building. He scouts to like literally makes a barrier around this wall with his horses, and then his Kazakin move into the middle. His other Kazakin move up here, and then yeah, the game is on. So we roll in advance for this Rhino here. Managed to get a nice big fat 5 or 6. We managed to come round and we go right to within contagion range of these guys. So if we come right to the wall, we go right to the wall, because again I'm not too scared of melee. But we get these Death Riders in contagion range. These cultists who are like here move out with a normal move. We can see these Kazakin up here. We can see these Kazakin in here. So that's pretty cool. This bloat run again moves to here. The PBCs stay still because we want to be able to get Boil Blight off here. This drone just comes out behind as well to like here. Happy days so far, pretty good. So this is the part where the these cultists are about to do the actual Lord's work. So interesting thing about playing versus guard, if you come first, is reinforcement stratagem is 2 command points. Now because I've gone first, my opponent has 1. He definitely can't do reinforcement. So I'm like, right, we need to try and pick up what we can right here, right now. So we Boil Blight the horses and the character that's in there, and the mortars unleash, and 2 mortars with the -1 save. Again, we took -1 save because I like maximizing my output. Managed to pick up all the horses and the character. So this unit is gone for good. They can't get it back. These cultists shoot some shots up at these Kazakin, kill like 3 of the guys, which is quite cute. Not too bad. But then these cultists then make a charge into these Kazakin here. And with the help of a PBC that shot in and killed like 3 of them, with the charge, we get quite lucky on our stuff because we're AP1, wounded on 3s in close combat because again they're toughness 2, AP1 because of contagion. We actually managed to wipe out the unit of Kazakin, and then we can consolidate back on. And what that means is he is now down a unit of Kazakin and the horses, which cannot be possibly reinforced. So it's a real big turn for us. A real big, like, okay, those 2 threats are just gone forever. Thank God. So real nice. He picks up his Gaunt's Ghost. Don't want to get flame next turn. We thought he might do that. That's still there. So his turn. He brings his Bulgrim that are on the line, because now they have to come in here. He gives them like 9-inch move from an order so that they can do the... I know, right? Go Cultist. Cultist doing good work here. He brings both of these forward to here. This one here does like teleport homers, because again, that's what he's took. This unit starts moving down. Doesn't manage to get onto the point even if we move, which is quite nasty, because it means that we're going to sticky this boy. This guy can't shoot anything, so he kind of just like sits here for a bit. He's like, okay, we'll just sit here. Again, the Bulgrim have come down. The Bulgrim's like that. These Kazakhstan squad has moved up. This thing's got like advance and shoot plus 4 moves, something daft. So it comes roaring down. It is an angry, scary boy. And the Melter Mine plus the Melter Guns do manage to actually pop the Rhino, and the indirect here also pops this Rhino, which is actually kind of scary, because like I'm not used to getting like something pop that quick. So the big 10-man Marine squad is out. Thankfully, nothing else can shoot it this turn. Thank God. Which was, quite scary. Oh, yeah, also first turn secondaries, let me just check them for you, which isn't good, because obviously that's got our characters in it, so it's going to give them assassination points, which isn't exactly what we wanted to. So first turn, we got extend battle lines and investigate signals. So these cultists actually get us extend, because they held the middle, and obviously the Rhino up here, so we got that for 5, and we ditched investigate signals for a command point. So then, next turn, so quite a bit of shot. We've got Arm Forge, we've got popped here. Our Bloatrun takes a bit of damage from the Mortal Wound Mine or something like that. But comes back to our turn. What we do is this Bloatrun here actually flies around here to like that. Actually, no, these guys made a charge, I remember now. And they were like here. So they were like just on the other side of the wall, because they had to come through from the charge. So they're bonking the Bloatrun. Bloatrun lives, which is nice. This is where the magic of the fallback shooting charge works. So the Bloatrun just comes back to like here. So you still see all the options he needs to be able to see. We bring in the Prino bus. Because again, that's his deployment zone. So we bring it in from strategic reserves here. Just like that. Having a good time. Just chilling a bit there. And we get out a squad of 5 Marines here. So we can shoot that squad. So we want to basically shoot this thing as much as possible. This Plague Bus Crawler comes down and forward here. And then we bring in a Terminators. Oh no, we do not bring in a Terminator. We do not. We just actually playcasters that. These guys come here so Entropies can see down. He moves up so we can see that. We don't bring in any big thing yet. So we got our bloat drone here with those. These cultists are by turbo dead. They got charged by these guys, so they got that. So at this point, we lost the cultists, but cultists again have already scored and done really well for us. What we do now is we basically the bloat drone flies onto the point actually. Just holding it on the other side but out of combat. So no, they didn't actually make the charge this turn. Yeah, sorry, that's next turn. Memory gets hard after a week, guys. I do apologize. So we have cleanse. So what we do is the plague marines move forward up here. The bloat drone comes here. We go cleanse with these 2 bloat drones. This plague bus plus the marines shoot a lot of shots into these guys here. They are in contagion range because the bloat drone just like nudges forward to get 6 inches on them. They're more like that. And we put the Bio Blight into this unit, and the mortars plus the flamers from that, flamers from this, plus melter guns and whatnot, actually managed to kill this squad down to like a single guy or something, or like maybe 2. They do quite a lot of damage to it. Up here, entropy cannons plus the 3 grenade strat plus the 2 melter guns which get lethal hits kill this tank. And then he reminds me when you kill tank commanders on a 2-up they shoot back. Kind of like how the Autark rolls a 2-up and comes back to life. But also like the Autark, this guy likes to roll 1s. So he dies. So again, Lady Luck covering my ass a bit there, which was quite nice. We shoot this squad down to under half strength, but we don't charge it. We're still hiding behind the wall. The reason we don't charge it is because again he can just reinforcements it. We want to kind of wait for his turn. Hopefully they'll fail battle shock, and then we'll pick them up because they can't use a stratagem on them at that point. my turn's going okay. We got a cleanse off. We ditch our other secondary, which was bring it capture enemy outpost. Yeah, that got ditched, as you can imagine. So we didn't do that. But then it's not the worst thing. So our opponent decides he wants to basically try and push this up here. So this Bulgarian move all the way up here with 9-inch charge. These guys here are... Actually, they switch places. They go to there, they go to there. This Bulgarian unit comes down. These guys start to come up here to push this. Then the tank commander comes down to here. And he basically obliterates 5 Marines or so here. This indirect thing is like chipping these guys away, doing damage, doing bits and bobs. This bloat drone gets popped, annoyingly. These guys then charge in, manage to kill this guy here. This full squad of Bulgarian charge the bloat drone again, and this time they actually managed to kill it. So a bit of a rough turn for us on this one. We don't actually get too many points. We still hold 1, which is nice. But they do manage to kill a couple of units, and they manage to score quite nice and assassinate. So, but on our turn, we do a teleport here. We go for a teleport up here with Typhus. The Rhino now drives forward, drops out 5 guys. They are within a melter shot of this guy, but then the Plague Bus pulls right up to this Lehman Russ. This Entropy Cannon tank moves forward. This one moves forward. And this is the closest we're basically going to get to seeing... Oh, these Nurglings come right in this corner because we have behind enemy lines and homers, so those guys are going to score that, I believe. It is... This is the turn we get Bring It Down. That was it. So Bring It Down, secure no one's land. So these, I think we're holding off on these Nurglings for now. Oh no, we do bring them in. We bring them in down there just to hide there, and if we get something, we can nudge out. That was it. Turns out six Plague Pistols with the anti-infantry 4+ into a full unit of 6-man Bulgarian, who are 4 up invulnerable, -1 damage, 6 up, feel no pain, is the closest we're going to get to shooting Custodes. We fire them, we get a pretty good amount of shots, and I've set up everything else to shoot as well, obviously. So we've got, these guys both to shoot the Bulgarian, this guy's here to shoot the Bulgarian. Turns out you don't need any of that because Death Shroud absolutely deleted the unit completely. Now, I did get quite lucky on the shots, I will admit. But, that was a bit grim, I won't lie. These guys did fail the battle shot and they get picked up by Typhus Mortals and this guy here. The Bulgarian do exist here, though. The Melter Gun, plus a grenade stratagem, and plus a cheeky, the casters did, the casters, like 7 or 8 damage to this thing here. They popped this completely. So the tank commander is gone. We wounded it, and then this squad charged it and killed it in melee, so it didn't get to use its fight on its shoot. You can't use big guns, never tire, because it's looked in melee. So they killed that quite nicely. So at this point, both tank commanders are gone. We've got a weakened Bulgarian squad, a full strength Bulgarian squad that can't really do too much. And we've got these guys here. Unfortunately, now I can't make a charge. There's nothing to charge, so it's like, great. I'm going to have to start spend some turns advancing that. He did roll quite low on saves, but again, the only difference it would have made is that these guys would have probably had to have shot it with the flamers. But again, they were already there. It just kind of made me waste shots more than anything, which was kind of annoying. But my opponent basically not having, obviously, the greatest times here. Now, I think he does fire. So, again, the Bulgarian here are just doing the... I put some mortars over here as well, and he kept battle shocking his squad that was doing the free increase AP stratagem, so he couldn't do it on him because they were battle shocked, which is quite funny. A bit unlucky for Mark, but it kept happening for some weird reason. So Mark then basically just kind of secures this here a bit. He brings in another Kazakin squad here from reserves that he had. Gaunt's Ghost pop in. They drop here somewhere like over here or something like that. They basically use a sniper to shoot Typhus. Typhus does take 4 damage from the sniper, but somehow lives everything else that shoots at him, which is kind of remarkable. Then he manages to score. He does score an assassination later in the game, like turn 5. But he does he does his... I know, this Gaunt's Ghost comes in here to do... Because he starts doing homers with Gaunt's Ghosts. So Gaunt's Ghost scores him homers there, which is quite nice for him. But again, he's just kind of like scoring stuff at this point. The Praetor shoots, kills like a Terminator, I think. He didn't really kill much. Again, not much damage gets done. These guys just kind of hold in here. My turn comes along. The Plague Caster bus kind of just like starts driving into his deployment zone, starts spraying all the squads back here, having a bit of a nightmare time with that thing. These guys move up. The Death Shroud move and advance to here. Managed to finish off the last remnants of that Bulgarian squad. We come back here and we do kill Gaunt's Ghosts, so they do die, which is quite nice. Typhus does some mortal wounds to these fellas here, gets some low. Doesn't make the charge though because they deploy at 12 away, and I felt like a 7-inch charge, but I was okay with that. It's not really too important. I bring in like a unit of cultists over here who score some secondaries. My opponent has a unit of Kazakin reinforcemented from when he in the reserves. I killed that one. He reinforcements it. His last turn, he brings it back in my home, which is fair enough. Scores another teleport homers. The Praetor kills Typhus and gets him another assassinate. But at this point, basically, we just then push it into his home. We kind of just let him. We just kind of let him have this one here. I'm not going to put in the effort to try and kill all these Bulgarian on here. So he keeps holding one, and he just scored another kill one. So he's still scoring his primary pretty nicely. But at this point, we kill Ursula, the infantry squad, and the command squad. It counts as like 3 different things. So we still get kill more next turn. And at that point, it's pretty much over for him. So we managed to get a 95-79 victory. Basically just we kind of traded naturals, but the output I was managing to put out and scoring the kill more every turn, plus the tactical really helped. Assassinate, he managed to get 3, but again, this Rhino's still alive with both the casters in it. And I think, honestly, killing those 2 units first turn really helped where he couldn't reinforcements it, which just meant he didn't have as many units as he thought. Yeah, I know, Paul. A bit of insanity there. Honestly, I was like, you know what, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Because even if he killed them, I was like, okay, so if he kills them, you know, he'll get 20 on that. But I was like, it should be okay because I felt fairly confident in beating him on the primary. I felt like I could always kill more and hold more. Which did for most of it, part 1 where he killed more. Maybe, probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have put them with the 5-man squads. But again, I don't like the idea of getting the 5-man squad out. And again, he has to choose between killing me off primary and killing the 5-man squad, or trying to pop the Rhino and then kill the casters that were inside to get the VP. So it's kind of like mix and match. Round 4. Oh boy, the mirror match. This isn't fun. Mirrors suck. I'll say this right now. I hate mirror matches, and I went against a lovely person who's actually a member of the channel, Tank, says Tankos Redmayne on the Discord, and we played each other, paired into each other. So with the last 2 Death Guard players that were undefeated, so one of us was going to become defeated and one of us was not going to become defeated. He had Mortarion. Surprise! If you have Mortarion, you can't have your toughness lowered, and you also can't have your save lowered, or your weapon skill, or your ballistic skill. So him having Typhus and him having Morty and me not having Morty, little bit of an issue there. Little problematic, but you know, we'll see how it goes. He's gone for a much more traditional sort of stylist, so he's gone double Predator, double Bloat Drone. He's still got the Playbus Crawler. He has 3 units of Chaos Spawn, which are actually kind of annoying, to be honest with you. He has a big 10-man Plague Marine brick with the usual characters inside it. No Typhus though, which is interesting. 2 units of Nurglings for scoring and a unit of Chaos Cultist again. But yeah, kind of like it's like the list I was playing at the last event, much more focused around Morty and all that the shooting output. So it's kind of scary, I won't lie. So yeah, not feeling great going into this one. So we'll have to see how it goes. And this is probably one of the hardest games that was like of the weekend, so we'll play to Tank for this one. But this was the map. Now this gap here is very exaggerated. This gap here is actually tiny on the board, and like you can fit just a Rhino through it, and that's about it. Not much else. So knowing this, because Predators can't fit through because of the sponsons, neither can PBCs, I knew that he basically had to put his vehicles on either the top side or the bottom side. If you put them on both, he's going to split them up from Mortarion, which is going to be a lot less synergy for him. So I'm like, okay, he has to commit to one. So I deploy first, and I put cultists on the line again. I'm just like, yep, sure. My Nurglings, I'm pretty sure I keep in reserves. I go tactical on this one. I think tank does the same as well. So tank goes, I'm pretty sure tactical. Tank, where you at? There we go. Yeah, both go tactical on this one. So tank puts down his unit of cultists up here in the open there. He puts down a unit of Nurglings in here. I put down a Plague Burst Crawler at home, as I always classically do. We're holding our bloat drone again, and we'll do the same trick we did against the guard here. We put the Plague Bus in reserves, I believe. Yes, we do put the Plague Bus in reserves again. So we reserve the Plague Bus again with the dudes in it. And Typhus, Death Shroud all in reserves. Nurglings in reserves, everything else on the field. So we kind of do the same thing again, same kind of deployment. So this Rhino's ready to sort of jump into here. Bloat drone sits up here. We hold off the last bloat drone for deployment again. I like holding off the last bloat drone for some reason. It seems to work. We kind of basically mirror the last deployment we had. So we go like that. There's 10 man here, and then this last bloat drone. So as my opponent's dropping stuff, he goes one Predator in reserves, which was quite scary to think about. Predator in reserves is not what I wanted to hear. He has a unit of Nurglings in reserve and a bloat drone in reserve. Everything else on the table for him. So he goes Predator up here. As soon as this comes down, we're knowing, all right, he's coming up here. So, you know, I've given one of my cultists there. That's my cultist tank. They're your cultists. Take your cultists. He goes Chaos Spawn Unit 1 here. All right, Dan, how you doing, mate? He goes another Chaos Spawn Unit up here. He goes a Plague Bus Crawler 1, a Plague Bus Crawler 2, a Mortarion. And then he goes one Bloat Drone mirroring my bloat drone, total copycat. Yell at him, copying my shit. And then he goes a Rhino just in this gap where it can just literally. This is much tighter than it actually looks here. And then he goes another unit of Chaos Spawn, sort of in there with them. Okay. So plan going in this one. I don't have Mortarion. I cannot fight where Mortarion is. We're going to play run away from the run away from the Mortarion. That is our plan. Very tactical. We're gonna run away from the Mortarion. I put down the bloat drone once again. This cheeky devil, right on the line, because again, these have plague spitters, not entropies, so he can come here, he can mortar me, but I'm not too scared of that. And this thing with the last cannons can't move forward because it's at the back. Can't get an angle on this bloat drone here, turn one. So I was like, okay, cool. So, I think I went first, and I said to tank, I don't want to go first. Yeah, I remember I went first. I was like, I really don't want to go first here because I want to try and get end game scoring. But it's scorched earth, this one, so I'm ready to burn an objective. But I ended up rolling a 6 the first turn. I was like, shit. But it actually was okay because we did our scouts. We went whoop right into here. He moved his scouts across to here. And then the game began. And my first draw was extend battle lines and area denial. So I need to kill these Nurglings, and I need to have these cultists in the middle, and hopefully hold 2 objectives so we can get possibly a really good score turn 1. So we do advance on this Rhino, we get it right up here just as the usual. We roll an advance for this bloat drone, we roll a 1, so we just kind of like stay behind there because I don't want to sit in the open for free. These PBCs both stay still, there's not much going on. This bloat drone flies over here again. Now what's important here actually is that if these Chaos Spawn advance, even if they get on at this point, because they're only OC1 each, they actually can't take it off this bloat drone because they need to get both squads on it. And the chances of both squads making the advance roll to get on here are a lot lower than just one squad. So that's why this little bloat drone was here again, to just come and be a pain in the ass. So then we're going to move our cultists move forward. We make sure we pass by this cultist squad here, and all of my cultists shoot all of his cultists with the flamer, the crack grenade launcher, and the auto gun, and they drop it to like 3 guys left, which is really nice. This PPC is here actually because you can see them. So that's real good. So there's only 3 guys left. This PBC puts his machine gun over there, mortar into the Nurglings, and basically the other PBCs join. They manage to wipe out that cultist squad, and they drop the Nurgling to having a single base with 2 wounds on it left. So my cultists go for a charge. Now, because this Nurgle is right in the corner, we base it with as many models as we can, but then, because we can't base anymore, we're free to go where we want. So we actually string out towards this Rhino here. So we've got like 6 cultists swinging on the Nurgling, and the rest are swinging out. Even with the -1 to hit, we're hitting it, and we're hitting on 5s, we're wounded it on 3s. But we managed to, it's only got 6 up invulnerable. The math says I should kill it, and thankfully do manage to kill it, which is quite nice. And then what we managed to do is so still while being within 6 of the middle, this map is very deceiving because this gap here was actually like tiny. We managed to like move block the Rhino from the Rhino's right around the point. We managed to move block the Rhino so that it basically can't get out of deployment. Again, the maps aren't one-to-one representative of the game, which is quite good. And we're also going to get Aiden now for free, I think it is, because we're not holding within 6, but we've cleared out everything within thingy, so we get some points still. Move blocking this Rhino is actually massive because now this Rhino can't like get out. It can't get these Plague Marines anywhere, which is really, really nice for us. So on this turn, we've got 2 objectives locked down, which is quite nice. Again, these to get both his kit spawn on here, take it. And we've also managed to get a move block off just from this. So this 1 unit cultist has basically killed 2 units and done a move block, which is really, really good for us. So we're really happy with that turn 1 play from the cultists. Means probably getting first turn was probably beneficial. So my opponent gets Bring It Down and Investigate Signals first turn. He gets rid of these, obviously, because they're not really much good. He doesn't want to investigate signals or anything. It's just not really a great position for it to be in. The bloat drone could probably go down to it, but he needs to try and get the bloat drone onto the point, which is going to need a big advance to get onto it. So he rolls his advance. He does manage to get it, so this bloat drone comes and takes this point just. So he equals it on OC. These guys don't get on, unfortunately. These Froggles come over here to get onto the point of the objective. These guys are going to just die to the flame as this thing moves back. These 2 PBCs start pushing, and this is the exact right thing you should do. You should start trying to bully with these PBCs and with Morty, so all of this starts moving forward. Absolutely the correct thing to do. This Chaos Spawn unit comes in here as well. He's just trying to basically become a massive bully with Morty and Krutko, which is obviously the right thing to do completely. Quite scary, I won't lie. So these guys here all move up. They mortar into the Rhino here, and they drop it to like, I get quite bad saves to be honest. They drop it to like 2 wounds or something like that, which is quite scary. But he lives, and then he heals up to 3 in my turn, which is, you know, something, I guess. But yeah, all this stuff is moving up, being quite aggressive with it. He gives up the Investigate Signals for the turn, because he doesn't want to do anything with it, which is, you know, he can't really score it too easily. But he has got Bring It Down. The Rhino lives, but he keeps Bring It Down because he thinks he can... Thank you very much, Natalie, for a gifted sub. We have paid our own household. Thank you. But congratulations to Craig, who got a gifted membership. Please, if you get membership and you are a member, and again, guys, if you enjoy the content, consider becoming a member. I think it's like $3. That's all it is a month. And if you can... you basically support the channel. It's really nice for us, helps us make more content, keep things like this going. We have a community Discord you can join as a member. You can enter giveaways, join in the discussion. I'm always on there. I'm always talking about lists and tactics and whatnot. Feel free to ask me any questions. But yeah, congratulations on your gifted membership. And if anyone else fancies it, feel free. So what we do on our turn, so now we're on the 6-inch contagions. What we do is we have this bloat drone flies around to like here, because again we out OC him off this primary here, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to take him off this primary, and we bring in our Rhino of Doom. So the Playcaster Rhino shows up here with its Flamers of Doom. This PBC starts sort of being a bit aggressive. These two get this PBC is like here. Get line of sights for the entry cans to this PBC. There and there. You can see his front prow. This goes right into the wall, because if we go into the wall, our 6-inch contagion range lets us get in touch of this. Now we can't reduce its toughness to save, but we can boil blight it, which will help because it takes cover off it. This bloat drone just kind of hovers. I kind of get paralysis with this bloat drone Probably should have done something better with it, but I was like, I don't know what to do. So what we do is we unleash the caster bus of doom down here. We managed to pop the bloat drone completely, and this fella here sprays and kills a chaos spawn or two. 5 flame marines got out as well, and they shot into the chaos spawn, did some decent damage as well. I think they actually managed to pop it with a bit of help from these entropy cannons as well. So this guy's existing. He's took this primary off them, which is nice. Our Rhinos dropped this thing to like, I think we dropped it to like 3 wounds or something like that. So it's quite a wounded playable scroller, but still alive at this point, which is kind of like not to be unexpected, because again we can't reduce its save or anything like that. We did get behind enemy lines, so we have dropped in our Nurglings in this corner here, just like that from Deep Strike. And we had Bring It Down, which we killed the bloat drone there. And yeah, I've got 7 on that. I don't remember. We'll see. Oh, thank you very much, Austin, for the 5 gifted subs, mate. Memberships. Again, congrats to those that got gifted it. I won't repeat the spiel I just went on. Thank you so much, Austin, for the support, mate. Really appreciate it. But yeah, my opponent then charges. As he drives right up to the wall, he rightfully notes that. Oh, he's against the wall. Sorry, no. I charge him. I tank strike him with like 2 wounds. He falls back with this, and then he notes correctly that because I'm against the wall, I'm touching the wall, which means if Morty flies over, his wings can see through the window to my Rhino, which is really good play, right? Really, really smart. This PVC moves around to here. This Predator moves along. This bloat drone jumps in here. And this Rhino drives into this point. So these guys' frogs move across. Drives into here and drops off the 10 Plague Marines here. So they all shoot. This bloat drone goes pop. This other Predator has also come in here. Oh, the Predator's still off at the moment. The Rhino goes pop. My 10 Marines get out, and then they get double sprayed and mortared, and I'm down to like 3 guys. So I'm like not having a good time. This top point is pretty much lost at this point, which is a bit horrific. The reason I charged PPC because it forced it to fall back, so this one's not shooting this turn, which is quite decent for us. But yeah, we're basically at this point, we're kind of like trading positions on this point, which is okay. I know where this spawn is. It's got a spawn home. That's it. Yeah, it's got another spawn home, so that spawns like that. There you go. He's basically gonna crunch everything I've got up here, which is, you know, fair enough. I kind of expect it to happen. I'll be honest with you. There's not too much I can really do about that. So the idea is again to keep sort of playing around and just kind of like try and stay from Mortarion as much as possible. Now Tank did manage to pick up his Bring It Down there, and he also got Overwhelming Force because he killed a unit that was on the point, and the bloat drone down here was also another kill on the point, unfortunately. So he's got max points that turn, so he's done really well there. So my turn, we have these guys who are in line of sight. So this guy from his front prow can also see these, so we're going to be able to shoot them directly and hit them on freeze. This fella up here gets line of sight on the entropy cannon into both the bloat drone and this guy. We drop in Typhus behind this wall. Typhus does a smite, manages to pick up the wounded Plague Burst Crawler, which is quite nice. These guys here drop a free grenade stratagem onto this Plague Burst Crawler and shoot it with the 2 metal guns that we kept alive. They drop it down to like 5 wounds. Then this bloat drone's come around. The combined spraying plus entropies of these guys managed to actually wind up taking off the last remaining wounds of the Plague Burst Crawler, which is quite nice for us. Again, we popped a Boil Blight. Again, we can't really save, but we can ignore cover, and that's quite important versus 2 up save units. Now, thank you very much, Prometheus Williams, for the $5 donation. Really appreciate it, mate. Yeah, we're trying to keep the channel's going pretty strong at the moment. We keep trying to put out more content and stuff. Will's got his full recap that'll be coming out probably like a day or 2 after this stream. So you got even more content to listen about Will's, Will's experience, because Will also managed to get a 4-1. He had a rough round one versus Orcs. He managed to pull it back with 4 straight wins, which is really cool. This Rhino has drove all the way up here. The Plague Marines have just moved onto the point, advanced onto the point. The Plague Caster Bus drops the AP4 Flamers into this unit of Plague Marines and kills like 8 of them. It's fucking horrific. Like, it's so nasty. That plague bus is just gross. So they pick up so many of these guys. These 2 entropys wipe out a spawn, and the rest of the mortars manage to pick up the last of this squad. He actually does leave the 2 characters alive, so the 2 characters are gonna like split off and just do shit on this objective for the rest of the game. But the big 10-man plague marine squad is neutralized at this point. This chaos spawn is quite weak. We've killed another PBC up there, so we're happy. So this turn was, we still managed to deal decent damage back. We've not shot Morty once. That's how that PBC died. Now I remember now. He killed my Rhino, which exploded. So Typhus put the mortals into that PBC. That's why it was easier to kill than it sounded. Because Typhus did 6 mortals to that full health PBC. He killed my Rhino, which exploded. Did 3 mortal wounds to his PBC that had 3 mortal wounds, which then died. Which then also exploded. So all of his units up here have actually taken like 4 to 5 mortal wounds each, which is again a little bit of luck, I won't lie. Also did hurt my plague marines a bit as well from the explosion. So again, that's why this PBC was easier to kill than it. I probably wouldn't have killed it otherwise. It took like 8 out of its 12 wounds as mortal wounds from Typhus and an explosion. So pretty happy with that. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I forgot about that. That was a funny moment as well. So in our turn 3, we managed to score on the old secondaries. Yeah, so anything that starts the game in Deep Strike or reserves have to be deployed by end of turn 3. Which these guys here, spoiler alert, I've just had my turn 3 and they're still in reserves. Tank pointed that out, but thank God I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna ingress them in your turn, which is like, because they would have just died in reserves. But yeah, that is actually a thing. I think it's in the Leviathan rulebook, which is a pain in the ass to find. It's not the core rulebook; it's the Leviathan match play rule. So in that turn, I scored a bring it down. That was it. That's where I got the big bring it down score. And an investigate signals. So these Nurglings came in, did investigate signals in this corner here, and my cultists came at home, that was it, and did investigate signals here. So I got 4 on investigate signals, 7 on bring it down because I killed a bloat drone, PBC, and I got max bring it down that turn, so PBC's dead. So my opponent brings in his second predator next to the first one here. Mortarion, he's like, okay, Mortarion needs to get clapping stuff now. So Mortarion comes round, basically murderizes, sits on this point. These plague marines get absolutely murdered to death. This bloat drone is like bumping his bloat drone. His bloat drone falls back out of combat. They spray each other. It's really cute. Not much happens though, but it was cute, which is really nice. The 2 predators sort of like line up to get shots down the line here. I rapid ingress in Death Shroud near his home objective. He comes and charges me because he's an absolute dick. Because he knows that if I move towards, I then charge and get onto his point. But if he comes and charges me, I then only get to move 4 inches a turn. So I'd have to at least roll a 5 on advance to get onto his home objective. And because it's sticky, he'd hold it. So he's actually quite clever of him. So he goes for a big charge, a 9-inch charge into my Death Shroud rather than the opposite way. Which is quite funny, actually. It's a bit of a douche move, but it's also like not a douche. It's actually really clever. So I was quite happy for that. Quite happy that I did that. He got Storm Hostile Objective and Tempting Target. Now, at this point, I was like, okay, I want to keep him. So he got Secure No One's Land and Extend Battle Lines. Yeah, there's nothing I could do about it. So he put a bloat drone there, drove a predator like there, and put Morty there. So he's going to max that. He was like, cool, right, I just maxed that. I was like, yeah, there's not much I can do about that. He shoots down, he doesn't kill this Rhino, he does some damage to this PBC. Thankfully, managed to spike some wounds. This thing takes a bit of damage as well. I don't really lose too much. I think these Plague Marines get shot by... He goes drives like that and gets an angle on them and shoots and kills quite a few. Drops them to like 2 guys, I think. So they're quite weak and they're there. But I actually don't really lose anything, which is quite lucky to be honest. But Morty's now looking for blood, basically, at this point. Which is kind of scary. Because obviously Mortarion is not something I can deal with. I just have to basically stay away from Mortarion. So he does make the charge with the Chaos Spawn. They die, obviously, but it means now I've got like make an advance onto his home, which I don't make, which is really annoying, so I have to walk towards it. These Plague Marines down here start burning this objective. They're nice and hidden in this corner now, because again it's Scorched Earth. He starts burning his objective with this blood drone, so he didn't shoot my blood drone, it just started burning it, which is fair enough. I can't take him off it because I have to like drive on with this thing. I have to kill this predator here, which is a bit hard to do. I get, in my turn, I get secure no man's land and tempting target. So he takes tempting target, he puts on this thing here, which is like, cool. I ain't taking that off Mortarion. I fuck up here, and I should have been able to score secure no man's land, because I had this here. I forgot to put this score in, and I scored 0 on it when I clearly have a guy here. I never lost this. It would even be stickied. I never lost this point. So that would have been at least 2 points or 3 points. And as you see, that will really come back and bite me in the ass, annoyingly. But Playcaster Bus moves up, does some damage, kills the last of this Chaos Spawn. These guys don't make it onto the home objective just yet. This thing comes and bumps his thing. The guys here manage to shoot the entropys up past this guy and kill this predator at the back, which is quite nice because we get all the mortars onto it. But that's all I managed to get for that turn. So he then burns this top objective. I will burn the bottom objective at this point. So they'll be both basically trade objectives at this point. Either get onto his home, which is quite nice. So my opponent then gets Storm Hostile and Tempting Target. So what I actually do here is, because I want him to sort of like stay where he is. I don't really want him to move much. I give him the free Tempting Target onto his point here, which means Morty has to like stay like a good boy, and just because he can't then get aggressive with it, otherwise he'll lose Tempting Target. So we give him the 5 points for Tempting Target, which when I checked the score in the end probably wasn't the wisest thing to do. But again, I really don't want Morty like coming down here, because if he got capture enemy outpost, that'd be 8 points from him that could really swing the game. So keeping Morty in the middle, more than happy with. So we give him that. He also gets a he gets engaged for free because he brings in, he had his Nurglings come in a while ago, like up here, and they just can't walk down there. So he gets engaged for 1 quarter, 2 quarter. This round just like basically just drives on more like that. He just drives past me into this quarter here. So he has engaged for 3 quarters. And then on my turn, so again, not much dies. He shoots this thing here. I think he kills 1 PVC from the Las Cannon Predator. I think he shoots down and finally finishes this one off here. So my final turn, I get Storm Hostile Objective and Engage on all fronts. So what I actually do is this little bloat drone, with the help of some entropy cannons, we managed to kill this predator here, and then a cheeky spray and tank shot plus mortal wounds of Typhus, who moved in advance like here, managed to kill this, so we actually get Storm Hostile on that one, and then Engage on all fronts. We are obviously in every quarter at this point. End of the game, my opponent manages to get a area denial, so Morty obviously just goes and exists in the middle, and he gets Engage on all fronts in his last turn. That was it. So it's like that. Sorry, I get Storm Hostile Objective. So yeah, the Rana drives down here. I think he managed to kill that there or something like that. He managed to storm that one. But it was a really, really close game in the end of it. 92 to 87. So again, Tempting Target, probably shouldn't have given it him. But at the same time, I should have get at least 3 points and secure no man's land. So it should have been 95 really. My fault. It's my scoring app. I should have kept track of it better. So there's no one to blame but me. But a really close game where basically we just played absolute keep away from Mortarion. Again, we did no damage to. We didn't shoot Morty once. We kept Morty away. We killed all his assets around it, and it was a close game on score. But it did feel, and even Tank said it felt very much like it was in my control a lot of the game, because I was kind of just playing around, and I had this objective, and then I had his home objective, and I'm kind of just all over the board with Morty in the middle at the end. But again, it was really close. Tank played it really well. It was a really fun game, and yeah, I got the 4-0 at this point, so I'm already buzzing. My event's done. I'm happy, and I'm very happy with that. Thank you again, Natalie, for one more gifted sub on for Nicholas Zamora there. Congrats, mate, on the gifted sub membership. Again, if you've been gifted a membership, check out the community tab on the YouTube channel. There is a link to join our Discord. You can join. You can basically interact with us on there. You know, post pictures of your hobby, ask for advice. It's a really cool little community we got going. And enter giveaways, etc., etc. So yeah, so we're happy at this point. We don't really care what happens. And then 5th round pairing goes up. and we get Innes Wilson. So anyone who doesn't know Innes Wilson is a pretty good player. He's a captain of Team Scotland, and he's rocking Blood Angels. And this is what happens when you read a room wrong. So Innes is very, very good. Like, incredibly good. This is the most surreal game I've ever played. It was like being played like a fiddle. Like, I've talked about tiers of players, and this is a great example of someone that's like the top 1% versus like me. So, what do you mean? Where did you find your place, mate? Do you mean like final placing? You have to. Oh yeah, it's weird. You have to turn on gift memberships. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Kirby did that one. Sure, he did. So I'm against Blood Angels. He has Lamatis, 2 captains of Power Fist, a chaplain, Sanguinor, who's really weird. Calidus Assassin, classic uppy downy. Yeah, I did. Last time I did see my what do you call? I did last game I played against Blood Angels in a final. I killed 1,200 points. This is what happens when you basically read the room wrong, though, Todd. So I won't lie, I played this kind of safe. So we got carry on the list: 2 times 5 assault intercessors, 2 times 5 jump intercessors, 2 5-man scout squads, a big 10-man jump company squad, a big 10-man foot company squad, 2 impulses with shield drones, 2 ball predators, which I hate these things. Fucking Redeemer Overwatch on an 18-inch range predator. Blech, grim, and it's assault as well, so not nice to face. Very underrated unit. Quarters deployment, very scary. 6 objectives. He puts in reserves a unit of jump intercessors, the Sanguinor, and everything else starts on the table. So I'm like, oh, everything starts on the table. He knows I've got indirect. This is gonna be aggressive. I was like, okay, right. So as I'm deploying, I'm like, right, PBC back, PBC back, PBC back, here. Rhinos both on the board, we'll put them to the right to the edges and be safe. Put 1 cultist squad just in the middle again, everything else in reserves. Bloat drone over here. Bloat drone over here, everything else in reserves. He goes ball predator, right in the open, basically. Pretty much like there. Another ball predator. Like there. Impulsors, right up front. Impulsor, right up front. Rhino, pretty much on the line. So you can kind of see where this is going, guys. Death Company just behind this L here. 5 jump intercessors just behind this wall here. Scout squad here on the point. Scout squad here to stop my scout move, which is obviously smart. These guys are reserves, and then other guys are in the transports. So, we roll. I get first turn, so I go to scout. I sort of scout sideways because I can't go forward. Then he scouts. He moves just off the objective in case I get overwhelming force, and this squad goes and hides in here. So, I also want to play this safe, and I'm really scared because I've done it before where I've gone 4-0. You go into the final round versus a very, very good opponent, and you have a bad loss. And because you have such a bad loss because you play against a very good opponent, you score like 30 points. It can destroy your entire event placing. To find your placing, Paul, you go on the BCP app, and there's a tab that says placings, and you on there you should be able to just search your name and you'll find yourself, mate. Yeah, so the ball predators are wild. So I was scared of that happening. I was like, right, I just want to score points. I'm probably not going to beat Innes because it's Innes Wilson. I just want to try and score as many points. So I've kind of already accepted a loss, but I'm just going to try and score as much as I can. And then this happened. So I get first turn, and I move up to here, and I advance. I just sit here. I Boil Blight because I have area denial turn 1, so I just need to make sure there's nothing within 6 in the middle, and I have a unit within 6, so my cultists can do that. We dodge both the ball predators by just positioning, because we started the move behind this wall, then we finished our move so they couldn't see us. And then, you want to see the Discord? It should be in the community tab. So if you go to our channel homepage on YouTube, there should be a community tab that you can go on. You might have to scroll down a bit, but there'll be like a pinned link there for it, mate. So Innes kept score on this one, so I don't have as much score on this. I do apologise. But I I have the final score, and the score you're going to see after this is completely wrong on the slide because I'm an idiot. But I trust Innes to score this because again, he's not the person that's going to like cheat, and he was writing it down on paper, so I didn't put it on my app. But we kill a squad here, quite happy with that. We kill like 2 scouts from here. We do score area denial, and I think we have extend battle lines, so we managed to like touch this objective and score something like that. So then I'm like, okay, here. Oh, these has moved up as well. We took some shots to the impulse, didn't do any damage, but all this has moved up here. These guys have sort of moved up here. Again, I'm just really scared of his arm at the moment. I'm just like, just play the edges. You don't have any long range anti-tanks, just play the edges. So it came to Innes' turn. Are you ready for this? This is what happened. So we had the 1 impulsor. Just drove to there. The ball predator drove to there. This ball predator drove to there. This rhino drove to here. This came back here. And yeah, that was it. It took him 30 seconds to do his entire turn. And the only question he asked is, does he want me to roll out the damage on these cut lists? No. No was the answer. So I was like, okay. And he scored his points. He scored max in his secondaries. I can't remember what he got, but he scored max in his secondaries. I was like, okie dokie. So my turn comes along. I'm like, okay. I'm really still nervous. We're just going to like come like here, get some shots down sideways. We're going to kill these scouts. Get the rhino onto here. And we killed the scouts on here. Happy days like that. We shot everything else. We didn't kill anything else, unfortunately. Didn't do enough damage. And again, at the end of his turn, he rapid ingressed the Sanguinor onto this point, which held in primary. So he held 3 on primary because this I was touching here. He held 1, 2, 3 on primary because his assassin was holding his home. I forgot to put the assassin in. And then in his turn, he had to bring it down. He got out 5 intercessors. 5 assault intercessors with a captain came out to this rhino. The Sanguinor moved up to here. I rapid ingressed my Death Shroud in. Again, I'm not really too fussed. I'm just trying to play for points here. So I'm just like, okay, let's bring him in here. This impulse has gone in here. His turn took about 5 seconds. It's so weird. It's so surreal to see something like bap, done. I was like, okay, so these Sanguinor tries to charge the rhino. I overwatch it with the Death Shroud and kill it. The captain with 5 assault intercessors charged into this rhino, and interestingly, the assault intercessors, if they are attacking units on an objective, get 4 rerolls to wound. His captain can pop a once per game, go up to 9 attacks, and have dev wounds. He's playing it so well, dude. So this rhino goes pop. He then just consolidates. My 10 plague marines get out. I'm like, okay, happy, okay, all right. He scored maxi secondaries again. And at this point, he's like, Aiden, I'm not looking to table you. I'm not looking to ruin your game. He's like, I'm not trying to like, because I explained to him I was just trying to score points. And he was like, I'm not here to ruin your game. He's like, I'm just here to score 100. He's like, I do not care what you score. He's like, if you sit there and be a good boy, I will not push you. And I was like being taught like I'm off my dog. I'm like, yes, master, yes. I was like, please, no hurt me, master. But again, he's played this list before, and like he just has the game knowledge to know the minimum amount of input required to get the maximum output. Again, every turn he's just putting in the most minimal shit. These things are overwatching over here. Yeah, exactly, Luke. He took 18 minutes for five turns. He's insane. So all he's doing is just overwatch to keep me off the main points. He's happy to let me have 2 objectives. He said that. He's like, you can sit on 2 as long as I'm sitting on 3. So I'm like, okay, and it's all right. And then one thing he kind of asked me though, he said, because I was happy because I could literally stay like this right now and score pretty good, and he'll score 100 and win. But he was like, I kind of want to just test something. He's like, I kind of want to see how Death Company do the Death Shroud. I was like, cool, that's fine with me. So I move forward with Death Shroud. I charge the Impulsor. I kill it. Just so that next turn he can come out and sort of see how the maths does, because he wants it for future teams' fairings. It literally was, guys. Please don't kill Mr. Wilson. Is it safe? Most definitely not. Literally, mate. So I did that. So again, I'm throwing him a bone. I'm letting him know it's fine. You don't have to hurt me. I'll play along your game. I did score I got assassinate and bring it down. We killed that. We killed the captain that was in that squad. So we got assassinate max there. We shot all of our guns at the impulsor. We managed to kill it. He did rapid ingress onto here. I brought in Typhus to help kill the impulsor behind this wall. And then from his rapid ingress, again, because he just wants to hold free, so he's like 1, 2, 3. That's all I care about, 1, 2, 3. So again, he scores max on his primary. His turn, he gets assassinate. So these guys fly over the wall, grenade strat Typhus, then charge and do mortal wounds on the charge, which kills Typhus. His Death Company come across so he can do his maths exam. He gives me 2 command points for no reason and says -1 damage them because I just want to see how it goes. He swings in, he still kills them all, so he knows for future now that he can reliably use this to kill 6 Death Shroud. Now, look, I could have overwatched it here, and I would have, but again, at the same time, I'm like, we're kind of at an agreement where it's like, I'm just going to let myself score points, and you're going to win the game, and I'm cool with that. I'm like, okay, Mr. Wilson, that is fine. But I should have asked him actually to see if he wanted to see it to test it. But a lot of my Death Shroud were against the wall just because of how the fight phase charge thing did. But it's whatever. They'd have killed him anyway. They overkilled the unit by shit tons. He's just moving around, moving his stuff, just being like, yep, cool. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Again, he's scoring just a sec. He's just scoring whatever he needs to. I get something like cleanse. So I'm like double cleanse here. He gets something like behind enemy lines, he just hops that in there, does teleport homers. Again, totally like cool. I'm just like, sweet, I'll bring in some. I got homers and behind enemy lines, so I brought in that and that. He could have. I'm pretty sure this one could even overwatch the cultist, but he was like, nah, it's fine. He's like, that's fine, don't worry. I really enjoyed this game because we were talking a lot of it. It was such a weird game. It was not like a round 5 game. It was like a real big teaching game because like the turn 1 with the cultists, I did a stupid thing where when I got into this position to score area denial, I kept one guy on the objective. Like, why did I do that? It's not like they had no chance they were going to live. I left them on there in case they lived and stickied it, but they were never going to live, and all I ended up doing was giving him overwhelming force points. Like, it was such a weird, interesting game. This entire game took, I think, 25 minutes. I think this entire game took 25 minutes. It was so surreal. So Innis like just jumped over here, killed that thing. At this point, apparently it's already turn 5. I'm just like, wait, what? I'm just like, it's turn 5. He's like, yeah, it's turn 5. He drives out on there. He's gone second, so he's just like, yeah, I'm going to score stuff. So basically, somehow just from counting the secondaries that come in, it ends up being 100 to 85 to Innis. I am totally fine with this, completely fine. A wonderful little learning experience. And again, it kind of also came down to the fact that I think what happened, Paul, is I'm so used to Blood Angel players being very aggressive. And when he deployed in line, I was like, oh god, he's going to become aggressive. And again, I'm so scared of that really bad loss. I was like, right, I need to play it safe. Whereas really, what this list does of Innis is very good trading and very good just scoring and board play. And I completely read the room wrong. Because I asked him, I was like, how should I have played this? And he said, right, these PBCs should have been at the front, and the rhinos should have been just behind them. Because what happens is, he hasn't got any shooting to pop the PBCs because they're 2 up save plus cover. So I put a PBC out on front here. This is going to be learning. We're all going to learn from Innis today, everyone. So what he said is, so imagine the same situation. You put the PBCs out front, the rhinos instead just sit back a bit. Sit back behind the PBCs, like here and here, yeah? Just like that. The PBCs go out. So, in order to stop me holding objectives like this, like primary, he has to kill the PBCs, which his shooting isn't going to do. He said that my shooting will not kill that. I can't put OC on it, otherwise I'd have to put out, because you get flamers. So I can't guarantee, because the 4 OC, so I can't just put a tank on it, because it's only 3. Which means he has to commit somewhere. So whether that be the Death Company, he said the Death Company come out, yes, they charge and they kill a PBC. But then, you come out with 10 Plague Marines, you deploy on this wall, and you charge behind the wall, and you wipe out a 350 point unit, and you move your next PVC onto the point. And same happens next turn. I bring up those ones, and then they die as well. And he's like, by the end of it, because you've got stuff like Death Shroud and stuff, you actually will just outpace me. And because I'm putting those PVCs on the middle points, I'm not letting him using his units to go and score stuff. Instead, they're having to be used to kill stuff. So his scoring actually gets impacted negatively. So it was really cool to see this. I 100% expected an aggressive Blood Angel player, because that's 99% of Blood Angel players. And what instead I got, it was like coming across like a guy who had a green deck in Magic the Gathering, and instead started playing like it was a fucking blue deck. And you're like, what the fuck? It's really clever. So a massive. So again, as we talk, guys. Oh, Christopher Latta, thank you so much for becoming. Was it 6 months that? Jesus Christ, dude, that's insane. Thank you so much for support, and 10 gifted subs as well. That's wild. Thank you so much, Christopher Latta. Really appreciate it, mate. That's honest. Thank you so much, man. That is freaking mental. Again, if you got gifted a sub, take it away. Go join the community. Go join the Discord. Thank Mr. Christopher here, and yeah, welcome to Becoming a Plague Marine. I hope you enjoy your stay. But yeah, a very interesting, very good learning game. 100 points to Innes, 85 points to me. A loss sort of means that a loss does matter, because you can't beat someone who's come 5-0. So if someone's 5-0, even if they got less points than you, they will finish above you in the rankings. But where you get your loss kind of matters. So losing in the first round is worse than losing in the last round. And then it's obviously like battle points matter. So having 85 points on my only loss was actually really, really good for me. And that it really actually helped out in the end. But playing this game was, one, just fucking weird and wild to watch a guy play an entire game in like... if we had a chess clock, it must have been like 6 minutes on his part. That's about it. Because I had a bit of like decision analysis at first, and then when I realized how this game was going to go, I was like, okay, cool. He's not going to table me. I'm fine with that. So I started playing quick. The entire thing took 25 minutes, and we sat there. We were talking about his new WTC list that he's taking soul grinders in Death Guard, which is wild. Dude, 25 minutes for a game for 5 rounds is insane. I kept going to people seeing how they're doing, like, you done? I was like, yeah. He's like, did Innis smash you that bad? I was like, not really. I was like, don't get me wrong, he sat me down and I played like a dog. He was like, you know, be a good boy. He was like, you sit there and you will do what I say. I was like, yes, master, I will. But at the same time, I was happy with that, because I was already happy at the event. So to have this like learning experience for one, be taught some things by Innis, because again, I'm not Innis's level of player. I know that I don't play enough. But Innis is probably one of the nicest dudes I've ever played. I fucking love this game, even though I lost. And it was a final round loss, so you're like, oh, that'd be pretty bummed out. I was like, no, it was great. And again, just chatting to him, talking about WTC and all that stuff was really cool. And I know now that when I come across these melee matchups, I need to use the PBCs more aggressively, because I'm a very passive person, and that's my thing. That's holding me back just a bit at the moment, is instead of being passive all the time, I need to learn when to use the defensive profile of the PBC to make something happen. So it's, again, to force a trade, because again, if he wants to trade, you know, 400 points of Death Company for 180 points of Plagueburst Crawler, I need to be okay to accept that and be like, cool, that's a win for me. But again, it's just, in my mindset, I'm a very passive, very trading focused person. And when I came out Blood Angels, I was like, I'm so scared of getting like smashed like that. So, you know, it was quite interesting to see. He must have had quite a game plan to counter the one he played too, right? Yeah, I mean, he knows so way more. Like, his brain's like a different level, and I was just like, mate, you know these ways. Like, it's just the confidence of his deployment as well to put stuff out in the open. It's like, it's so wild to think about, because we're all so scared of last cannons sometimes. But when we actually think about it, 2-up save, we can always like pop. Well, Cloud of Flies, not smoke, because he ain't got smoke keyword. But -1 to hit. 4-up armor save versus last cannons. They're only d6 plus 1 damage, so they could just roll a 1. Maybe we don't have to be so passive about Plagueburst Crawlers. Maybe we can be aggressive with them and actually use them a bit more aggressively in these matchups. And it's something I'm going to be trying. So again, when we go to the events, we always try to do our best, but we always try and find something to learn and improve from. And this is going to be my thing that I'm going to take. And my next event now, which is going to, I think it's an RTT, like in a couple of weeks, I'm going to take this I'm hopefully going to come across like a melee matchup, and I'm going to use this knowledge and I'm going to play aggressively with these PBCs and use them to incite the trade. Because again, what was the PBC actually doing for me in this matchup? He also asked me that. They had entry cannons, but they're very unreliable at the best of times. The mortar's quite cute, but do I need mortars to kill 5 marines? Not really. I can kill them with anything in my army. So what they're actually best used for is the initiating trade piece and making the most out of that defensive profile. But yeah, anyway, fantastic game. Learned a lot. And that's what we always look for. Don't be discouraged by your losses. Always remember, we learn far more from the games we lose than the games that we win. Always remember that. Austin, thank you very much, mate. Again, for the membership there, mate. I appreciate it, dude. Always appreciate self-reflection, so helpful. Yeah, it's always important to self-reflect, understand. You're not going to win every game. That's fine. Look for your lessons from the game, and this was a really good learning game. Yeah, pedal to the metal at PBCs, totally. But overall, ignore that, because that was the last Blood Angel player I played, where I actually killed a lot of Blood Angels, because again, that was an aggressive Blood Angel player. I knew how to play against that, but I don't have the score for Innis, but it was 100 to 85 to Innis. But overall, that did land us in 15th place overall. The guy above me, Michael Hopper, it won the award for Best Chaos Player. I was 1 battle point behind him. Remember when I forgot to put in that 1 battle point against Tank? Yeah, I should have scored at least 3 on it. My bad. But it happens. It's whatever, innit? I was still super happy to get 15th. Actually, no, 40 games that knowledge. I've lost so many games. We learn lessons and we look for lessons. Doesn't mean we always remember the lessons. It's a very different thing. But yeah, I've thought a few times about being aggressive PPC. Like option winter. Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's like I think I'm gonna have those games where I try and be aggressive and I just get them exploded, and I'm gonna have to learn where the ground is, where it's like safe to put them up front and where it's not safe to put them up front, and sort of like gauge that balance. But again, it's always down to it's always down to experience and seeing where we can get into. But again, if you run across you come across like 3 Gladiator Lancers, probably don't do it on the line. But yeah, 15th place, 271, tons of ITC points, so really chuffed with that. Again, missed Best Chaos by 1 point. It's a bit upsetting, but it's oh well. Overall, I'm much happier with this list. Does that mean it's a better list? Not exactly, but what it does mean is that it suits my playstyle better. I am much better at this list than I am the Morty sort of like castle and the Morty vehicle spam. So I think this is the list I'm probably going to go forward with. Probably a few little tweaks here and there, but I'm relatively happy with how it plays. Playcaster Bus is so good. I even shot that and Innis was like, oh, actually that hurts. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good at it. So that was quite cool, a little moment where even you had Innis going, oh, okay. That's interesting. I was like, yeah. Which is cool. So playcasters are really fun. I'm going to try them. Bit saddened against running into any Custodes because I really wanted to run Custodes days. But you can't always beat them, can you? You can't always get the matchups you want. Didn't really get any melee matchups, to be fair. Part of the Blood Angels, which was again not played like your traditional melee, played more like a control melee. But overall, super happy with it. Super chuffed with how it went. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next event, and we'll see where it goes from there. But for now, that's pretty much everything. I'm going to stay online for a second. I'm just going to nip to the toilet very quickly. Just let questions fill in the chat. I'll be 2 minutes. I've been holding a piss for the past 20 minutes. So please give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. If you get any questions, leave them in chat. I'll get back to them when we're back, and then we'll do a quick wrap up. And we'll talk about some upcoming content. I am back, everyone. Sorry about that. I went to a Nepalese restaurant with my missus to celebrate our 12-year anniversary, and I like spicy food. Spicy food is not like me. But yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at some questions to chat. 2-1 last chat. Yeah, man, 2-1's a really good result. Like I said, playcasters, they honestly, sometimes, when you, especially with the spike, my god, the damage is unreal. Which is really cool. I'm quite happy with it. Old Wiz. How do you see our Death Guard into Grey Knights? I have a huge problem getting rid of them. Yeah, Grey Knights are probably one of our biggest pain in the asses at the moment, alongside, like, if you come across Thousand Sons, the problem being that Grey Knights are obviously a lot more popular at the moment in the meantime. So I'd fear a lot more for the Grey Knight matchup. Especially the Dread Knight spam. The Dread Knight spam can be really annoying to deal with. Maybe that's something we should look at, like having like a thing on, and potentially how to beat them. But Playcastables weirdly does really does do a good amount of damage to them, which is quite cool. So you know, maybe the Playcaster meta is the way forward for dealing with Grey Knights. But yeah, it is a well played Grey Knight army is probably the best counter to us because it has all the tricks and mobility needed, especially with the buff to heavy side cannons now being like AP tuning, nose cover. That is such a big buff, and it's like, oh god. And they're just a pain in the ass. 2-up armor save everywhere, still kind of pain. Dread Knights not being infantry means it's really hard to wound them easy. It's probably the worst matchup for us at the moment. But yeah, I think we probably can have play into it to become a problem, but it'll probably require quite a bit of like reconfiguring on our lists and how we approach the game. Unrelated, let's discuss Lord of Contagion being the only. Yeah, I know. Grenade keyword on that guy is actually pretty cool. I tend to forget it a lot of the time, but it's nice when you remember it and you need it, because it's like running Lord of Virulence. I'm like, I can't grenade, because I was running Lord of Contagion for so long, and now I'm like, I'm gonna grenade. I'm like, shit, not Lord of Contagion. Crap, can't do it. I was like, god damn it. But he's such a good. I do miss him on the list. He's one of the coolest models as well. I miss him. I think that's the only thing. That's the one thing I could consider changing, would be like the Death Shroud were honestly the biggest underperformer. But it's like, are they underperforming, or is it more like they didn't have the right matchups? Because again, we didn't have any Death Guard matchups, and the one time they did get to do what they do was against the guard, and again, we just obliterated 6 Bullrun instantly. So like, their use is there, but right now, in this event, I didn't really get to see them shine. Does that mean they're worth dropping? No, because again, I could go to the next event, not bring them, and run into like 4 Custodes players, and I'm like, shit. So yeah, I definitely still think I want to be taking them with Lord of Virulence. But I do really miss the Lord of Contagion. I think the Lord of Contagion in a free man is like one of the best things you can give them, because he makes them just slap so hard. Yeah, vehicles and transports in general are a problem for Death Guard. I think that's why I started doing the Liam VSL Meltagun approach, because driving up with a Rhino, getting out, that one lucky Meltagun, especially the 2 with the Ballast Preachfire, can genuinely like pop a transport, and then you follow it with like a Boil Blight with a -1 save, and you can like kill them quite easily. To be honest, Austin, though on that one, I don't think it's a bad shout. I think 30 Plague Marines still has a lot of play. I could easily see that working just as well in Rule 10 Plague Marines. I do like the ability to have a deep strike threat. Not necessarily because it also does something, but it kind of makes your opponent worry a lot. Like, where the Death Shroud going to come in? A lot of the games never came in anywhere that mattered too much, but people put a lot of effort to sort of like make sure it's screened out. Probably would have actually been better with 10 Plague Marines just on the field to add more pressure going forward. But sometimes you do want the Death Shroud. The save's better, the invuln's nice. -1 to wound can be really good, and also that just really horrific flamer as an Overwatch. I think it's one of one, 2 of another. Both are good options. You got to just weigh them up into like how you prefer to play. But Rhino Plague Marines right now are just so good. Like, still love Rhino, still love Plague Marines. It's definitely more my playstyle as this infantry or mechanized infantry, and not the vehicle parking lot. But yeah, so it's all questions in the chat. So what we'll do for now is, I do have an RTT coming up in a couple weeks. I'll have to fully check the date. I'm not going to take a silly list like we did for the last one, where you guys made me suffer like mad. But what I will be willing to do is take a list that maybe you guys would like to see using some lesser known units, I'm fine with that. I've kind of had a discussion with myself in like what I want to do for the channel, and whether that's just always take the best list and push best Death Guard. Someone mentioned I'm currently rank 3, which is really cool. I'm super happy with. Not been to too many big events yet, so to have rank 3 ready is really nice. I'm really chuffed with that. I think I'm rank 2 in the UK, but I've only got 3 events out of 4. I'm like 2 points behind the person in first, so should hopefully manage to get that soon. So the question was basically, do I take the best lists all the time and try my best, or do I take interesting lists? Like, this was really interesting and still did well with the playcasters because it was a bit off meta, a bit different, a bit of a new unit tech. So I asked to the chat, I asked to the viewers, would you guys like to see me take any certain units that aren't like horrifically awful? And maybe we can see some. Maybe that's something we can discuss as like a community, the members in the chat and the Discord. We can make some. Because I think I'm enjoying that side more than trying to push for rank 1. Is trying to take stuff that people would like to see and being like, hey guys, this actually isn't as bad as we thought. Hey guys, these playcaster buses are actually awesome. Or maybe sometimes, you know, the going rumor is the truth, and maybe demon princes are just awful. But you know, there's that'll be interesting to see what you guys would like to see and what you guys would like to think about that. But yeah, that's something I can go to going forward. My next big tournament is in probably Leeds, which is going to be like, actually Leeds is quite far away, and it's like 4 months away, so probably maybe get a GT sooner than that. Would like a GT sooner than 4 months away. That's only the 4th month now, isn't it? Yeah, 4 months is probably a bit too long to wait for a GT. I'd probably like to go to another one at some point. It's just trying to find one close enough. Yeah, Leeds is August, yeah. A day to take Brigands. Never, Todd. Never. I mean, I can if people want. I can genuinely do it if people want, but it will be breaking my own heart at the same time. Did you miss not having the Predators? Sometimes. When's Sheffield done? Sometimes I miss having Predators. Sometimes I don't. Predators can be really swingy when I shoot them for some reason. They just never see. Like, I'll shoot 6 Predator shots and hit 2, and I'm like, how? How does it keep happening? So I'm kind of happier with the PBCs and just more infantry play. But definitely when I want that long range firepower, I was like, that would be cool, and I would like them there. So we'll see. How do you feel to be as good as someone who only went to the GT with only 3? How do you feel to be as good as someone? Fuck you, Jack. I know you are. Well, you know, we're the 15th place gang. I don't think it's to do with your free reps. I think it might be something to do with the dice you're using there, mate. Get him out of the toilet, did you? Tud, I have actually been speaking to General Janice, so yes, I'm going to get him on the show very soon, which is, again, a great segue for upcoming content. I would love to get him on the channel. I was talking to him on Facebook. I need to just get some down with him. Because, yeah, I'd like to have a chat with him on the channel. It'd be quite cool to get him on. We've also been trying to talk to Tycho from Play on Tabletop. We're trying to talk to him at the moment, see if he'd be interested in coming on. Also talking to Mordy and Glory as well. So basically like our channel, but for Imperial Guard. Seeing if he wants to come on for a chat, because I like talking to other faction specialists, because that'd be quite cool. Especially another faction that uses indirect a lot, and another faction that might have a disconnect between player base and the fluff of the idea of the army and how it actually plays on the table, because a lot of Death Guard players are still upset about Death Guard because we're not tanky, which is fair enough. A lot of people got into the fancy of it being tanky, and now we're not really tanky. We're more about like debuffing and debilitating. And Guard players at the moment have this idea where they're actually like a good army. They are a good army, but sometimes to be that good army, they have to play in a way that kind of like detracts from the narrative aspects of what a lot of the player base would like. So that'd be quite cool to have a chat on. So yeah, there's quite a lot of content coming up. Like I said, Will's got his 4-on-1 recap. I think Will finished in 58th, I think it was. Which is still really, really good. So well done to Will. You know, claps in the chat for Will. So he's going to have his Poxwalker to Plague Marine. So it's a mega episode because he covers an RTT that he went to and the Manchester GT. So it's quite a big episode from him there. I agree, Jack. I am happier that Death Guard aren't just defined by tankiness. I prefer this modern playstyle much more. I think it's a lot more fun. And I enjoy that a lot. But again, each to their own, you know. I'm not everyone. I like it as it is now. There's a lot of people that still want the old playstyle back, and I think it's just a good discussion to have and an interesting one. Aiden the Putrid Painter would be good to have on. Oh, I'll check it out. I've not actually heard that. But I'll check it out after the stream. I'll have a look who that is, and I'll reach out to them. I'm quite happy to have anyone on, really, as long as they're quite fun and entertaining to talk to. I'm happy to get guests on for you guys. Yeah, Austin, definitely. That Dark Angels list at the moment is not Dark Angels. There's nothing Dark Angels about that other than Azrael existing. I would dread to be in Dark Angel position right now, because you are basically forced to take trash and be fluffy in what you want to actually play as an army, or take shit that has nothing to do with playing as Dark Angels, but it's actually really good. I feel extremely sorry for you, buddy, and that's what I mean. I want to have this chat about. Maybe I could talk to, like, the Glacial Geek. I think he's like a big Dark Angels person. Try and get him on or something. So yeah, again, if you guys would be interested in that kind of content, talking to a faction like One Tricks and like how they feel at the moment, that's something we can do. Yeah, Demon Claw, totally get it, because again, we buy into Nurgle to be the tough guys, and now suddenly you're not the tough guys, and you're like the weird debuffy guys. So I don't ever hold any. I don't think anyone that misses that playstyle is stupid or anything. Like, totally valid in your reason, but like I said, I prefer it as it is now. I'm glad you've come around to it. But again, totally understand the initial pushback, because I was kind of the same, I won't lie. But yeah, also, what else is coming up? We have the another Fight Phase Advanced Tactics video coming up, which has got me like playing stuff out on the table, ways to get around fights first, etc., etc. So that could be quite cool to look forward to. And any other kind of content you guys would like, please feel free to leave suggestions like the Discord if you want us to have like maybe like I don't know if you guys are interested in like painty stuff. I'm not the greatest painter, but maybe we can like have a little painty stream sometime. I just want to make this channel like the Death Guard home of stuff, so I want people to, like, if you have suggestions, you have ideas, feel free to share them with me. I'm really interested in trying to make this the best Death Guard channel it possibly can be, because that's the entire like hope for this channel to become eventually. But yeah, can I come and say rat 500? Yes, you may. You can just say rat. That's fine. I'm fine with that, Blade. You can just come and say rat. Sit in the corner and just be like rat. Like, you can come to my event with me and just keep saying it to my opponent, like, completely out of context. I know you really want your Skaven. Soon. But yeah, so if that's about everything then, I'm probably going to wrap it up, guys. So thank you very much to everyone that sort of like tuned in. Thanks for all the donations, the gifted memberships. Really appreciate the support. Thanks for engaging in the chat. It really does make the streams better to have the chat and getting involved and chatting. It's the thing I enjoy the most about streams, is just interacting with the chat and having fun, making crap jokes every so often, and yeah, I look forward to sort of doing this again after the next event, and putting up more content for you guys relatively soon. Again, like, tier lists is a great style of like live content I love doing. We can get Pierce, we can get Dom back on, we can do another tier list, just give us a topic, all sorts of stuff. Or is that for Kirby? Kirby! I think Nat wants Kirby on the stream. Where is he? Go get him. Kirby! You guys want to see Kirby? Kirby's a bigger star than me.
He's so cute.
I'll go grab him. Give us a second. Oh, let's go get Kirby. Kirby! What's this? Up. Oh God, watch your back. This way, spin around. This way. This side. Spin around. There you go. There you go. It's the content you all really want. We got the dog. We got the pooch. Oh boy. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care, everyone. And bye from Kirby. See you later, fellas. Get out the pot.